Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but
Okay.
now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We're here to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una pipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que empezar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburres mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una pipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que empezar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado. Corazón, eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Thursday. Mi Gente show. What is up, Mi Gente? What is up, Sophia?
What is up, Lou? Not much, just here. Excited to do the pod. Once again, live.
Surviving. And I don't know if you noticed the new angle we got here today.
Yeah. You look taller. Did you have a growth spurt?
Yes, we are using the standing desk to try to help out with the New Year's resolution here. So we're gonna see how long we can last on the standing situation here for the pod.
Oh my God! What if this is a long one? What if we stream?
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I can make it? What do you think?
Yeah, you better now.
I know. Hey, it's not like I can hit a button. It's like it's all right. We can adjust if we want to, but we're gonna try. But I've been sitting around all day, and I did another hour and a half podcast earlier as a guest on my friend's pod. So try to stay up for a little bit,
I
move the
like.
legs around, see how it goes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, new year, new you. I like this.
New year, new you. Yes. So we're going to talk about a lot of things today. Topics on the table. We're going to cover the death of Lisa Marie Presley, which happened today, 2 days after she goes to the Golden Globes to see Austin Butler win for Elvis, her dad's movie. And we're going to also talk a little bit about a bunch of stuff that we're catching up on. George Santos getting railed by Republicans and being threatened that he needs to resign from Congress. We're going to talk a little bit about something that we've been waiting for a couple of weeks, Nepo babies and nepotism across multiple industries. We're also going to talk about the Golden Globes and what that just happened there, and getting people's opinions about whether it was too woke, whether the speeches were too long, etc., etc. And anything else that pops up. We got a list of TV shows. We got some art stuff. We got Baboni a Coachella.
Oh, Baboni.
Baboni a Coachella. Are you saving your money?
No.
You don't
For
want to go
Coachella? For Coachella? For what?
Baboni.
Baboni? No. I don't think. First of all, I don't think he's on tour, and second of all, I've already seen him enough. I'm okay.
He's headlining Coachella.
Oh, neta! Listen, I didn't know. Really?
Yeah, and he's doing Coachella. Baboni a Coachella.
Oh wow. Okay. See, I didn't know. Damn. See, this really is a reaction podcast because I just be reacting. I'm like, what?
You just be ready. And also, as part of the New Year, New Me, since it's a late night, we're gonna have a little vino instead of coffee. So little wine instead of coffee. We got the dog cam. We got Oso hanging his head there.
There you go. He's always a star.
There's always a star, right? But today we're going to start off with a spotlight on Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latin creative, as we like to do. This person was commenting on was watching us live last week when we had Rosa on. She is a filmmaker from Honduras, joining us live from. Yes, I believe I said the right country.
Yeah,
and,
Honduras. Yes.
Honduras. She's from Central America, and we obviously want to talk to more than just Colombians and Mexicans on the show, right? We got to expand to all parts of South America, Latin America, Central America, and Latinos, Latinx in general. So joining us all the way from Centro America, Alexa Jimenez.
Woo!
Hi. Thank you for the welcome. Thank you for the intro.
Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. Are you really in Central America right now? ¿Estás en Honduras?
I am in Tegucigalpa.
Ooh.
But you're probably going to get a reaction as well, Sophia. I'm not just Central American.
I love that.
I'm not just Central American.
¿Eres qué más? ¿Mixta?
I'm actually, well, my father's family is from Puerto Rico. So I'm part Puerto Rican, part Honduran. And I was born in the States, so I'm a little bit of, I'm like all scattered around the place.
All over the place. I love it. Yeah, you were born in Florida, was that?
Yeah.
Oh my
So we got Centro, Norte, and the Caribbean represented here.
Yeah.
Well-rounded. That's well-rounded.
Tijuana, San Diego, New York, Uruguay, Medellin. All right, we got it going.
It's such a blended experience, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's jump into it with you, Alexa. You are one of our multi-hyphenate guests, and as you work in a lot of areas, you write, you direct, you also have documentaries, animation. Where did usually where we start off with our guests is where did it all begin for you? Were you a storyteller as a child? Did you enjoy drawing? Were you just bossy and figured you should be a director? Like myself, what was it? Where did it start for you? That passion?
Well, I actually started writing. I think it was around high school. That I have to thank one of my English teachers who was there cheering me on when she saw me writing on a notebook that I have apart from the class notebooks, right? And I think I sort of wrote a novel, but to this day, I've been looking for that notebook and I can find it anywhere. And I'm like, I need to get that notebook back It has like
Yeah.
something that I mean at that point I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But it was something.
Was it
And
just
who?
scattered thoughts, or did it have
It
a
actually had a
theme?
structure. It actually had
Okay.
a structure. It was like a combination between Zoe 101, Lizzie McGuire, Net Survival Guide, like a
I
little
love
bit of
it.
everything.
You have to be my age. There's no way you're not around my age if you know all those references. How old are
Yeah,
you?
probably. I'm
I'm 28.
29. I'm turning 30 this year.
Oh, congrats. Congrats. Yeah, I'm 28, turning 29. Okay, I watched all of the above shows. I loved those. Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh.
it's like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, all
Todo
that.
mix. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And who read that novel? Did you show it to anybody?
I think I mean probably, but I don't remember. I mean it's probably in one of the many boxes from the mini moves. So gonna look for it. Like I'm gonna
Okay.
try and look for it. Maybe I find it because
Yeah, if you
it
do,
was
let us
something.
know.
So
Yeah.
they see you writing in this book, and they try to feed into that hunger that you have for that, or
Yeah, well, actually my English teacher when I was choosing my major for college, I was like, okay, I was in between creative writing, journalism, and well, my last option was actually international relations, which was what I ended up majoring in.
okay,
Yeah.
And because I mean, I think I did try to apply to colleges in the States. I actually wanted to go to SCAD. So, but it was
Ooh.
too expensive and everything, and I was like, I'm not gonna get a loan and everything and get myself all. And I was like, okay, it was like, okay, time to look for local options for what
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do with my life. And international relations major, actually, I think it was a really good decision considering where I'm now because it gives me quite a unique perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and with my heritage too. So it's like it's a combination of both.
So, with international relations, was your objective to have a career outside of the arts, or was that kind of to supplement?
It was, I think, yeah. I mean, I didn't look at it much as a cultural arts getaway, but then I actually was like, right now that I just finished my master's because I got a project management
Mhm.
master's degree, I was like, okay, so this is my
Congrats.
combo. And
Yeah,
I was like, okay, time to be a producer, like I've always wanted.
that's
So I was
awesome.
like, okay, with project management, I can actually be a producer. I can actually put my hands on thinking to execute things.
Hmm. That's
And
awesome.
actually, like my first short film, I did it right in the middle of the pandemic. We actually got with my husband. We actually got into making a short film. That's Mi Casita de Cristal. I
Hmm.
think you probably watched it because I shared the links to
Hmm.
Luis.
Oh, yes.
And
yes,
well, we actually did that short film in 15 days, around
okay,
15 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
excellent. So
It was a time trial for us, but I was like, oh my gosh, it was like such an educational experience for the both of us.
Yeah. Did you do the animation for that, or what
My
was your
husband
role?
did. I
Okay.
mean, I was the producer, director, and my husband did most of the artistic part, right, of
Okay.
drawing and animation and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm more like a combination of writer, director, producer, editor.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Multi-hyphenate for sure.
Yeah.
It's a badass over here.
all right, Alexa, we're gonna try to not touch your mic too much. Yeah, gotta act like a director for a second with your talent here. 'Cause we getting a couple of spikes here. Sophia already grabs that mic and spits into it a lot. So
Hey, that is a lie. I have not touched
Sorry.
it.
no,
it's
you guys.
it's it's probably my not actually being in front of the camera. It's more behind it, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. We like to get people out of their comfort zone, and we like to cast against type as well. So you get that you get it you get into international business, and again, this is something we talked a lot about before, which is sometimes you don't know that the careers that you're going into are actually things that are going to help you in things that your dreams. I ran a contact center for a long time, and it actually helped me become a better director because I learned how to deal with people, their personality types, and stuff like that, and how to motivate people to work for you. So, do you feel that that puts you in a good position for pitching ideas or taking on productions that span multiple continents, multiple countries, multiple locations? You think that something like that could be in your wheelhouse?
Yeah, well, that actually has been quite helpful for me because we have as our studio mentor no other than Fraser McLean, which was one of the people that worked on Roger Rabbit and
Yeah.
Tarzan. I mean, he's been right now mentoring us and giving us advice for production, for example, for the animation short film that we're working on right now. So it's like we've been able to like expand our, I mean, mentorship wise. I think that's the word, that like looking for mentors, looking for people outside of Honduras that much. I mean, here it's quite limited who you can actually ask because most filmmakers locally, they're quite like hermeticos. They don't really like speaking about what they do and how they do stuff. So, I mean, in my perspective, it's easier to talk to filmmakers outside of Honduras. Like
Interesting.
for me, it's easier.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's like a cultural thing because,
Yeah.
like, in most, I mean, most in Latin America, like Latin American wise. And Fraser told us actually the other day that we were talking with him, and he was like that most people don't really like listening to bad critique, even though it's
Um,
something that's gonna help them. And that's something that in Latin America, that's something that we actually fight against because it's like there's too much egos going around, and I mean
mm,
it's a problem.
yeah. Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like that would
and
stagnate creativity in a sense.
yeah, and like
Mm,
right now, like they only just they only just approved the Ley de Cinematografía here in Honduras in 2019. I mean, it's super young still. It's still like something that I mean, we know that we're still like a small industry because I mean it's still like in the starting points.
mm,
But I mean, filmmaking in Honduras, I mean, the oldest film you can find here, it's from the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a short film called Mi Amigo Ángel.
mhm. Oh, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it's in YouTube. You can actually watch it there.
Oh, nice. Como mi amigo Ángel.
Yeah,
So,
it's called Mi Amigo Ángel.
Yeah.
And that's the
so
first. So, I mean, I love looking back into history and everything. And I think that's something that actually has helped me both for my animation and my documentary filmmaking. And
Mhm.
like right now, I'm actually doing my second short documentary film as well, as we speak.
Yeah.
So it's like because I'm working with an organization that works with people with disabilities.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm working on that, and that
Yeah.
that with that the international relations thing actually helps a lot because I mean we talk a lot about human rights
you're talking
and
about Sin
I mean
Miedo?
Sin Miedo and sort of like the continuation of Sin Miedo. That's
Ah,
gonna be the
okay.
one that I'm making right now.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
love it.
it's
Is it
like
gonna touch upon on more disabilities, like a wider array,
gonna
or
be
different kinds?
about sexual violence on women with disabilities.
Mm,
Like there's a
okay.
case that we're already working on that talks about that stuff. And I mean there's so many things like the procedures, like the legal procedures that they have to actually take like as the victims, right? I mean they
Mhm.
take forever to actually get justice, and most of the cases get like quedan engavetados.
Mm.
All right, we got a comment coming in from Osman. Says Alexandra is great, so proud. He also
Of
says
course.
her volume is very low.
Oh no,
I can hear her fine. Can you hear her okay, Sophia?
I can hear her fine. Yeah, you do sound a little louder than her in comparison, but it's
I
not
do.
too low. Yeah,
Okay, let me lower. Let me do a real time lowering of my
but
mic
I don't know
here.
if lowering. Is there a way to like up her volume?
She can up her volume. I had it lower a little bit because she was peaking a little bit, but
Mm.
we can have her pop it back up. The only issue I'm hearing is that since she's moving around a little bit, she's popping a little bit.
That
But
usually is what comes with just having like the mic that you put on your body, because like you just move,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of rubs against things. Yeah,
yeah, she seems very excited. So she's getting over there. She's
as
getting up.
she should be. We're
She
excited to
should,
have you
for
too.
sure. So yeah, absolutely. We're excited to have you. So
You guys, you know that this is my like literally my first like late show interview experience. So it's like, and I was actually looking at the interview that Stephen Colbert did with Prince Harry yesterday for the
Oh
yes,
book,
yeah,
and I
I
was like,
saw that.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That was
uh,
so good. I binged it. I can hear everyone fine. Okay, good. Thank
thank
you,
you.
Ali.
Thanks for tuning in, Ali. Yeah. So you start off with your novel in a notebook, which is awesome.
Mhm.
You get into international business. You make your first short. You make your first doc. You're making your next doc. So the question obviously is, which one pulls to you a little bit more, documentary and real life, or animation? If you had to compare the two of how they pull
Ooh,
on you.
that's
You're
hard.
gonna make me suffer just as you make Rosa suffer the other
Yeah,
day.
She likes to do that.
this is my thing.
Okay, that's a really, really awkward question because I think I love both equally.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
They're
okay.
very
And
different, right?
and
Apples and
yeah, they're
oranges.
very different. But I mean, the cool thing about animation is that you can actually add animation into documentary, and
Mhm.
it works absolutely fine.
I love that. Hmm.
Yeah, that
I
was my
mean,
next
that's how.
question. What about a documentary told through animation?
Yes.
I, I mean, I've actually done it with Sin Miedo. Sin Miedo has animation in it,
Hmm. I did
so
Mm.
notice.
it's like you can actually piece out something nice just mixing both mediums.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
And is your ultimate goal, Alexa, to be a Central American filmmaker and sort of use the landscape, use the people, use the resources, the natural beauty for your films and the issues, or do you hope to eventually come to the US again and make your films here? Do you have you thought that far ahead of time? Are you just sort of honing your craft and happy where you are, or is the long-term plan to make a mark on US soil with stories that are from your country?
I mean, like I've grown up in Honduras almost my entire life because I came here when I think I was like around 1 or 2 years old when
Hmm.
my parents divorced. So, I mean, I've grown up here in Honduras. I think that I consider Honduras more my home country.
Okay.
Hmm.
If like Honduras is my home country because I've actually grown up here.
Okay.
And I mean I've seen like I would like to showcase all that things that make Honduras so beautiful because I mean
Hmm.
there's some things and I'm actually and it's such a good question that you did there, Luis, because I'm actually making planning out the documentary about my grandfather's life, and it's actually all in southern Honduras,
Okay.
and it's in the countryside and in the family house, which is like in the historic part of town. So it's like a mixture of everything. So and I'm like still putting the pieces together so that I can go ahead and film it because
Hmm.
it's a really big project. I wanted to make that my opera prima,
Okay.
like
Oh,
yeah, because I wanted to make it like a feature,
a feature film. Okay.
like a feature
Absolutely.
doc.
A
So
largometraje.
it's gonna. I mean, I would love because I mean, in that documentary, you guys are gonna see countryside. You're gonna see Colonial City, you're gonna see a little bit of the sugar producing industry because my grandfather was part of that industry,
Mhm.
and actually one of my uncles actually worked there still. So because I mean we've been so close to that, so
You're good. Well, as you know, Sophia knows every time that somebody says that's a great question, Luis, my head grows a little bit
Yeah, it
bigger.
grows a little. You gotta,
So
you gotta
I gotta,
stop giving him praise. You gotta
I gotta
stop.
put on, I gotta put on a bigger hat. So give me 1
Oh
second
my
here.
God. On that note,
Saying, there you
Jesus.
go. I gotta go. I had to go with a larger size hat because every time something I'm sorry.
Menso.
All right, so we are live talking with Alexa Jimenez, all the way from Centro America, a filmmaker, writer, animator, producer, editor. What's it like editing animation?
Mhm.
well, the funny thing about animation is that you edit before you actually start animating.
Right. So
Oh.
that's what I always wondered because it's whenever I see animation, it's like edited by. Don't you just only create the shots that you need, right? Or do you sort of, I guess the most important part of the animation process would be storyboarding, right?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that, I mean, it's like the pillar, because if you don't make a storyboard like the right way,
Mhm.
when you go into production to actually make the animations, you're gonna have so much things like working against you than for you. And the storyboard actually is there to be like the blueprint of a house, right?
Right.
Like the storyboard literally is your blueprint, because you can actually, I mean, you can't build something that isn't planned out. If not, you have a huge mess in production. I mean, I think that we haven't had any like big mishaps with storyboards, because actually Osman, my husband, he's super, I mean, that I think that storyboarding is one of his favorite parts of doing animation. So it's like we both like really get into there, like we check that everything works out and everything, and that's something that we also share with our students in our animation school,
Mhm.
because that's something that we have to, because I mean, here in Honduras, like filmmaking in general, they don't do storyboards
Oh wow.
like at all. Like
What?
for what I know, I mean most of them don't do storyboards. And it's a practice that they need to like gain for their own I mean for their own for their own what would be the word? Para su propio bien.
Advantage?
Yeah, para su propio
Advantage.
bien. Yeah.
Yeah. For their own good.
So yeah, yeah, for their own good. So it's like they actually need to embrace making storyboards more, not think of it like as an additional pre-production step, but actually as a step that's going to help them
In the long
be
run.
better during production.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I started producing in animation, and I've done already a few of, I mean, I've done productions in live action, not documentary, like the Domingo short film that I shared with you, Luis. That was a short film, and I mean, I wasn't the director there, but I actually told the director to do a storyboard, and she didn't do it, and it was a mess of a production. And I was like, okay, if we had a storyboard, we could have, I mean, we could have totally saved a lot of time and money in the production, because I mean, there are things that can be solved.
Let me ask you this in terms of animation. So you have a storyboard, you're set up, you basically know what you're doing into, but you run into like I guess a Robin Williams and Aladdin situation where he's improvising a bunch of dialogue and you somehow feel that it fits better, or maybe in the recording sessions some things happen that you hadn't necessarily planned for. How do you adapt from the strict storyboard that's going to make your life easier to things that come up during recording sessions where you feel, well, now that I'm hearing it out loud, or now that I'm hearing it from the actors, I think maybe we need to add a scene, or maybe add this background, or do something else like this. How rigid is the time frame? How rigid is the budget on something like that for you?
Well, the good thing is that you usually do the recording sessions before you actually start like as you're doing the storyboard. So you can
Okay.
actually work over the storyboards and do the changes there. So that's what usually happens.
Okay.
That you go into the recording, because the voices actors doing the dialogues and everything, they actually help you with the timing of the animation. They actually help you get the pace of, okay, how is the character gonna talk, how, I mean, in case if you're doing lip sync, which is super hard, but it's something, I mean, that's why, I mean, at least in my films, I try not to do as, I mean, tried when writing them, not to put as many dialogue, but try to make it more mimicked, because it's easier to make the mimics than do the lip sync.
You write like a producer.
Yeah, I actually screenwrite as a producer, and I'm like, okay, I think this is gonna be way too hard. It's like, let's go back and rewrite.
There's no fixing it in post if it's all post, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
That's the word.
All right. So we're live here with Alexa Jimenez. She's joining us all the way from Centro America. She is a filmmaker, writer, producer, animator, and you can follow her at Soy Alexa Jimenez and on Twitter. And we'll make sure we tag all her socials on the podcast description, etc., etc. We want to remind you that you are watching the 2 a.m. Burrito channel here on YouTube and the Mi Gente channel on
Facebook. Is it
Facebook
Twitch?
and Twitch and Facebook, the Mi Gente. So twitch.tv/Mi Gente Show, facebook.com/Mi Gente Show, and our parent company, 2am Burrito, youtube.com/2am Burrito is where we're at. And Mi Gente Show is available everywhere you get your podcast by looking for Mi Gente Show on Podbean, which is our home where it's posted. But you can also go to Spotify and you can watch all our episodes here. You can watch our episode from last week with Rosa, New Year Who Dis, and you can go back and you can watch all our episodes. We had V. Castro on all the way from the UK. So we've had guests from the UK, guests from Honduras, guests from all over the world. And we're always looking to promote and spotlight different Latino, Latinx, Latin talent from across the world.
Are you still undecided? Latinx on all the terms?
Look, I understand people get angry at it, and I understand. Look, if I was telling you like what my personal feeling is, I'm always going to identify as Latino. You know, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. But I'm also trying to, like I said, it doesn't cost me literally anything when I'm trying to say. That's why we're going both ways. That's why we're trying to have our cake and eat it too. That's why it's reacting to news and culture from a Latinx perspective, but also known as two Latinos and a microphone. So so we're taking the middle path, as I do in many things.
Do you have any opinions on that, Ale? On the Latinx controversy, all of that?
Does it hit Central America that much?
Yeah, is it relevant over there?
I think it's not as relevant as it's in the United States, because I mean, I remember when I was living in Texas in 2019, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm considering myself as a Latinx Latina, because even though I'm a Latina, considering that I actually grew up here in Honduras and I have Puerto Rican heritage as well, but like being there, I was like, okay, but I'm still American as well, because I'm an American citizen. So it's like I'm a combination of both. So it's like I'm both a Latinx and a Latina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So de todo. Yeah, I think that's what we all end up agreeing on. It's just like de todo. We are.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, Latin America is. I mean, that's something I really like about Latin America in general, because it's such a mixture of cultures and everything. Like on June, I went to Mexico for the first time for my sister's graduation. She graduated from the Tecnológico de Monterrey.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm super proud. I'm a super proud sister.
Aww.
And I was like, like my mom took me everywhere with my sister, and then she was like, I know you're gonna love this and you're gonna love that, because I like when I travel,
Mhm.
I try to like eat the food and
Oh
like
yeah.
do as many things as local as possible, right? To actually enjoy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's something that I was like, okay, I loved it. I was like, it's like, okay, you hit the jackpot there.
Yes, with the food especially. Yes, approved.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you go
I
just to
actually,
Monterrey?
I went to Monterrey and to Saltillo, to
Mm,
Coahuila. Yeah,
Coahuila. Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome. I've never been, sadly, pero sounds amazing. I
Well,
want to go
well,
someday.
well, if you need an
Mm.
actress in Mexico, Sophia can next time you're producing something there, you
Mhm.
let us know. We'll find you a better one. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, shush.
Hey, don't be so
Says
bad with
says
Sophia,
the
okay?
guy who says the guy who begs to cast me. Come on. Who-
Bags,
Well,
bags, bags. I put you on a poster,
thanks for
lady.
putting.
Be
Thank you.
appreciative. Be appreciative. I'm just kidding.
Because
I'm just kidding.
you love me.
I do.
Because I'm amazing.
Okay.
I need my big head hat. Hold on.
Get your big head hat. Hold on. Let me do the exaggerated eye roll in 3, 2. All right. So we're gonna talk about some other topics that are going on in the world here. Alexa, you've said that you're gonna hang out with us, right?
Well,
Yeah.
before I kind of wanted to ask a couple questions though.
Okay, go ahead. You do your thing.
Because Alexa, I really enjoyed Sin Miedo. Like that one hit for me in a very personal level because I actually have epilepsy. And that's something that I struggle on a day-to-day basis. And so I believe her name was Gracias Andres, the
Yeah.
girl that was on there. And I don't know, I just kind of like really thought it was an amazing project. And I was wondering what led you to want to focus and kind of spotlight people with disabilities, and where did you find these lovely women? I believe it was Isi Samador, Gracias Andres, and Norma Goody, and I just fell in love with all three of them, and it was just a lovely watch. And man, I kind of shed a tear a little bit. Not
Well,
gonna
you
lie.
know that this was actually a project that I did with, well, it's with Grupo Sociedad Civil, which is
Mm-hmm,
una organización de sociedad civil here in Honduras,
mm-hmm.
and they actually got me in for the project. I was
Wow.
really excited because it was my first time doing doc.
Mm-hmm.
I had never done a documentary before,
Wow.
and I mean, I knew Isis before because she's a friend of my husband.
Mm-hmm. She is
Like,
so funny, by the way.
yeah, Isis has a physical disability because she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't hear that well.
Mm-hmm.
So she's then, and she can't really speak that well as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, but I mean, I love her attitude. And Norma and Gracia, I actually
Mm-hmm.
got the contact for them from the organization that I was working with, because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I only have one woman that I know I'm going to interview. I need two more so that we can actually make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, they sent me the contacts. I actually did a pre-interview with them to get to know them better, so
Yeah.
that I knew what the questions that I was going to ask on the actual on the actual filming I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
do, because I was still like, okay, I have no idea how to go into this, because I have no idea. I have never done anything like this.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I loved the experience because both organizations, both Grupo Sociedad Civil and FENAPAPEDISH, they were really open to me, like asking them questions, how to handle the situations, considering that there are people with disabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're women with disabilities, and they have a special, like, oh, the way that you speak about them and you speak with them, it's really like super important.
Oh yeah.
And that's why it's also, I mean, you actually have the Lesho version, which is the one with the lenguaje de señas
See.
hondureñas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
because that was with the Asociación de Sordos de Honduras. I mean, they actually did the translation, like the interpretation for Lesho.
Yeah. I thought that was
Yeah.
very cool because I have a really good friend of mine who I have to find out a way, since I don't speak with ASL, how to communicate. And I thought, and actually we've been on a lot of emails and messages because we did a project together, and it's fun to it's well, not fun, I would say interesting to see how many little ways, how many little things we can do to kind of feel them, make them feel inclusive, or included, you know? Because
Yeah.
so I just thought that was a really cool inclusion to the
Yeah,
film.
there's also, well, the other day that we went to a screening of projects in the cultural center of Spain here in Honduras, that
Hmm.
they were actually telling, I mean, they were saying to the filmmakers that they were showing their films, and they were like, okay, but when can we expect a film with the what's the word of the other, ¿cómo se llama el otro tipo
Como la
de
serie.
interpretación, like when it's like the words
Oh, the
describing,
captions,
or
captions.
yeah, like the
Oh,
captions
hmm,
for everything that's going on, because most people don't do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
like the closed captions for people that are deaf.
Hmm. Yeah, that's actually one of the things that we're working on in that project is how to put the captions in there and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, and I mean that was something, I mean, and I think I'm still like, I don't want to say that I'm the only filmmaker doing especially films about disabilities, because
hmm,
I'm not. There probably are more.
hmm,
But right now, like, I'm working on this other project about sexual violence against women with disabilities and everything. And I mean, they're so important. I mean, they're topics that are super important, and they need to
yeah,
get out. They need to be. I mean, you have to raise awareness about it. Then, in whatever way you can, and through film, you can actually do it. And I
hmm,
actually asked the organization already. I was like, okay, so you're gonna let me send this to festivals, right? Because I really want to get the word out about this stuff. And they were
yeah,
like, okay, do it. Don't worry, you can do it.
Well, I'll get you a waiver for SD Latino
yeah. I was
Commissioner.
gonna
So
say she should be in
yeah,
there. Yes, come through to
yeah.
San Diego. Please
I'll
visit.
put it. I'll put it in a good word. I'll put in a good word.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll,
no,
I'll I'll let you know when I have the other docs ready. Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
I mean, on personal news, I've had to watch probably like 2 dozen movies over the last 2 days because there's 572 submissions, and there's still a bunch that haven't been watched and rated. So I have been on nonstop
Jeez.
movie. So I've probably seen about 100 movies so far, and I can tell you over the last couple of years that it has increased the number of films that are dealing with differently abled people, the issues they face, sexual violence, feminicidio, all these
Hmm.
things are all. There's a lot more filmmakers, young filmmakers specifically, that are making great pieces. There was a couple at the festival last year that used like real footage from the protest and a bunch of other stuff that was really really good. And so I think that yeah, you're one of many filmmakers that are doing this, but
Well, I'm glad
yeah,
to hear
yeah,
that,
it's
like, abroad it's happening like that way, because
yeah,
like
absolutely.
in
Hmm.
Honduras specifically about disabilities,
Hmm.
there are quite few. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that I probably, and I don't want to say that I'm the only one, right? But I know that we're like, we you can get, like, you can count us probably with a hand, but I don't know. I don't know the exact number of people that we are like specifically working around the topic of disabilities. But I mean, and you know that the topic is quite close to me. I mean, because since I was a kid, I think that I used to, and I still do, I struggle a lot with anxiety.
Hmm.
Like, I have like, I get a lot of I sometimes get like anxiety attacks, like really bad anxiety attacks and everything. But I've gotten to handle it. But it's like I'm way too functional. Like, I'm already functional enough or whatever. But it's
Girl,
like,
same.
What does that mean? I'm way too functional. I love that.
it's
I
like,
can, I can relate to that. I can relate to
Yeah.
that. I can relate
I don't,
very,
I
very
Like
don't
well.
know how to say it right, but it's like
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm
got you.
super functional.
es demasiado, me paso de lanza.
Okay. All right, guys, we are live. Mi Gente Show, twitch.tv/Mi Gente Show, facebook.com/Mi Gente Show, youtube.com. We're on the 2AM Burrito channel. Make
Mhm.
sure that you like this video. If you're having a good time, share it. Leave us a comment. Just say hi. It helps the algorithm a lot. And also for you audiophiles, grab your phone. Where do you get your podcast? Do you get it from Spotify? Type in Mi Gente Show in Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcast. You don't even have to listen. Just subscribe.
Just
Just search for us and subscribe. And if you want to listen to an episode in the background so it'll let you rate us, give us a rating and help us out tremendously. We're
Yes.
averaging about 350 downloads an episode over the last several months, almost 1,500 downloads a month, and we're looking to keep that going. Also follow us at Mi Gente Show on Twitter, at Mi Gente Show on Instagram. Our goal is to reach 1,000 followers on each of those platforms by the next year. So thank you for tuning in. Allie, thank you very much for tuning in. Allie was in a film last year that was at the festival called Divorce Bait that I think you can catch on Amazon soon, or that's doing still some festival rounds, and she's an actress. So thank you for tuning in. Yes.
Great title, Allie. Divorce Bait.
Yeah, she was in there. So hopefully they could come down. Yeah, you're invited. Come down to the festival this year if you want. All right. And I have been standing for the last 50 minutes. All right.
Almost an hour. You're doing great.
All right. Can we go? We got to stretch out. All right.
Meanwhile, Ale and myself are all just like, what's
we're just like lounging over here.
All right. That's going to be me the second half, but I already went this far with the bit, so I'm going to try to. I'm trying. Hey, I literally did like 2 podcasts and I worked all day, so I've been sitting too much. So, all right. So, Sophia, did you have anything else before we moved on to some trending topics for Alexa?
I just had one more question because there was a point in the movie. Again, sorry, I just really liked it. There was a point in the movie.
This is why she's our researcher.
Yeah, there was a point in the movie where they all speak of discrimination, and they all have varying different disabilities. Some that are seen, some of that are unseen, like visible and not visible. And
did you freeze? Did she freeze when she was asking her question? That's hilarious.
Sophia, I think that you froze. Are you there?
She froze right when she was asking her question.
Sophia, are you there?
Her internet might have gone out for a second. If for some reason mine goes out, just hang on. We'll get back on. Sometimes it happens, people. It happens. Sophia froze in the middle of the question. I need to clip that. Wait, she got. You froze in the middle of a question.
I know. Now we can. Thanks. I know. Where was the? Okay.
Well, you said. You were there. You were right there.
Wait. How long did you guys pause for when I stopped? Did you wait a little?
45 seconds. I was this close to moving on.
You're like, what's the question?
You were talking about the invisible visibilities.
Yeah, the fact that some are visible and some are not visible, and the different discrimination that they all have to deal with. And I was wondering if that had anything that came into play when it came to casting. Was that like a decision that you were aware of, that you were like, I want inclusive of like different kinds and to speak of the
I actually wanted to have like a little bit of everything in a way that, because when I was speaking with the organization, that was like, okay, I already have this girl that I really want to include in the documentary, which was Isis, right? And I was like, okay, I need to, I mean, we're probably going to need 2 more, but I mean, you probably know more people than I do that have disabilities. So I was like, okay, can you send me their numbers so that I can get in touch with them and ask them if they're available to go in for the documentary? And they were like super. I actually talked with Gracia's mom, because she was underage at the time. She wasn't still like, I think she was less than 18 years old. So her mom was there with her. And you know that I'm still in touch with them. Like we still chat. Like every time I get like any news about the doc, I actually let them know and everything so that they can share with their friends. Because I mean, in Izzy's case, she told me, she was like she and my husband know each other from the church that my husband goes to. So it was like they knew each other from there. So it was like. She literally felt like a movie star, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to have been the way for her to feel that way, which is so awesome. She became so more confident after that. And I mean, right now she's working, I think it's in a corporate office or something, and I mean, she's doing really well. Gracia, she's already in college. I think she went into medical school, I think.
Oh my God, she did?
Yeah.
I love that because she was speaking in the film about her struggle with studying and like all of that, and I
I
can
think that
relate
she
to that.
actually
But
went into medical school because I've been like looking around in the WhatsApp
yeah,
stories, and I know that she posts a lot about that. So it's like,
good for
okay, she's
her.
probably already in medical school, and I'm so happy for her.
Tell her I'm
And
proud of her.
yeah, and but the only one that I haven't been so much in touch with is Norma. But
Mhm.
I mean, she's older and everything, and she has sort of like a lot of work and everything.
Yeah.
So, so it's like, but we keep in touch there. We have like a little WhatsApp group to to just like say hi and just let them know what's going on with the documentary that they were part of.
Oh, I love it. Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing and focusing on a project such as Sin Miedo, and I cannot wait to see the next one. I feel like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm still like in the I love researching, so I love that you say that you were a researcher there. so
Yeah,
so
well,
it's
I
like
watch the films. I'm in knee deep in festival movies, but I will watch them fully. I did basically see a little bit, and I just feel it felt like you were going. It was minimalist in visuals while maximizing the information and
Yeah.
like and the message, which I think is a great juxtaposition in terms of
that was the idea because I mean we had a really tight budget. I mean
yeah
there wasn't that much budget for the production. Even though it I mean we actually had a budget because sometimes
yeah
like some projects here they go I mean they're like budget zero projects like
Mm.
at most. I
yeah.
mean,
It's
Mi Casita de Cristal was literally a budget zero project for us.
Listen, we've
Whoa.
been there.
Whoa.
We've been there.
Yep.
I've been successfully getting people to work for us because they believe in our projects for pretty much no money for the last 12 years. And you got to feed people well. You got to do
Yeah.
right by them. When you get opportunities for big jobs, get them jobs so they get paid. And if you do that, people will, people always have their home team that they're like, fuck it, let's make something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as a creative, you have to know your limits. As an actor, you have to know your limits. And as somebody who has to navigate that as a filmmaker at this level, because at independent filmmaking level, you are the director, but you're also the producer, you're also the casting director.
Mhm.
It is difficult to navigate. So
You know that we actually have well an animated feature project that we're working with my husband that is his I mean he's directing it and he wrote it. So in that one and that's something that we usually do that in some projects that
Mhm.
if I'm gonna be the director, like it's like okay, so you want to take on the production or I'll do it or do I do it? Like we actually talk about it because it's like you can be the producer and I can direct, or we can do it all the way around, or
yeah, you can do what
I
the
can
Mhm.
do
coins
the
brother can say.
multi-hyphenated thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pues si necesitan un galán en español,
Ah.
una lead romántica, aquí, esta es mi audición para el proyecto Sin Nombre de Alexa Jiménez y su esposo. Luis Martínez, audición, enero 12, 9 p.m.
Did he get the part?
Aló,
I'm sure
en
that you'll
el,
probably get it, like at some point.
Yeah, exactly. If
this
not,
one.
we know plenty.
I need to
Plenty
add
people.
another.
Yeah.
I need to add another hyphenate to my name. So why not audio actor, right?
You actually should go
Yeah.
into voiceover work. I
Yeah.
believe in you, Lou.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you
mean,
very much.
voice work. It's real. I mean, I actually learned to do it because I was like, for some of our projects, we were like, okay, so I'll just do it. And it was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just do it.
We got the equipment. We can make it happen for you in español or in inglés, whatever you want. All right. So I don't know what to do next. So we're gonna let the wheel of picking pick what the next topic is. You ready, Sophia?
Oh, okay. I love how it says advertising.
Advertising. Close enough. We're spinning the wheel.
Close enough. Good enough is good enough for me.
Good enough is good enough for you. And does it win? Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn.
Palate cleanser.
Palate cleanser.
Love it.
Let me find a palate
Okay,
cleanser.
Do we
bring
take
in
it
the
at-
dogs. Bring
Yeah, I
in the
know, right?
dogs.
Give me the dogs.
My dog cam went out. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Oh,
All right, let me look for a palate cleanser here. Palate cleansers.
Did you have one at the ready? Why would you?
Well, I didn't know we were gonna get palate cleanser. All right, here we go. We're
I
ready.
know of all the things. I feel,
All
I
right.
I
like
feel
you should
we
be
need
ready
it.
for everything, Luis.
All right, this is me this summer.
Yes.
Yes, Spanx for men. Spanx for men. Spanx for men.
men.
There you go. You're not gonna recognize me this summer. You're going.
Ooh, look at him.
Yeah. All right. That was our palate cleanser. Spanx for men.
All right. Love it. Love it. Are
That's
you gonna wear
actually
it?
interesting. I didn't know that existed.
I know, right? Do you
Well,
think that that's going to become mainstream in this year, 2023?
Listen, I'm not saying, but I'm saying that I would totally buy that if it was there. I like a tight undershirt or something like that, or there's certain kinds of like A shirts that you get for working out that I kind of like. Gives you a little support. Nothing wrong with a little support.
No.
Keep everything together, nice and tight.
Everyone gets a little support, likes a little support every
All
now
right.
and then,
This
right?
is a palate cleanser for Sophia. Here we go.
Okay. Why?
I am so excited for this. Well, let's get.
This is a lumberjack.
Gay.
This is a lumberjack lesbian on TikTok, and she's out in like Minnesota or something.
Okay.
It's open. Oh, we're so excited. Oh, golly. I have a sword. This is a wood splitting sword.
Oh my God. This is the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is like peak lesbianism right here.
Oh my gosh.
All of my childhood dreams have just come true.
This is like that's like the final lesbian form. Like they say, that isn't my final form. That is the final.
Yep, that is me. I'm gonna turn into that eventually.
That's your final
Someday.
form. Someday. That's
if I just worked out a little.
A buff lesbian splitting wood with a giant sword. She got.
Sounds like my future.
That's your life. All right. So I wanted to jump into let's go with the Lisa Marie Presley. Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley. She died like literally 9 months after they were married, and they were married when her mom was really young. She famously married Michael Jackson for a short period of time. They had an awkward kiss on MTV, etc., etc. And she was at the Golden Globes the other day because Austin Butler won for Elvis, the movie about her dad. And 2 days later, they got called to her house for cardiac arrest. She died after a short stay at the hospital. So R.I.P. Lisa Marie Presley. She was 54. Any thoughts?
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean that really bums considering that Austin Butler actually won for her father's biopic. That's like,
well, he was there. They shared a moment.
At least she got to see that win, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like my thoughts fully rely on how old was she and how did she pass away?
54 and cardiac arrest.
That's a bummer. 54. That's young.
She's like my mom's age.
Yeah, same. She might be younger. Oh my gosh. That's wild. No, yeah, that's definitely tragic then, because that's young. And I am glad that she got to see it. At least it was after, and she at least got to witness that. But still, sad news.
Sad news to report. I'm sure more stuff will come out as it gets closer to it. What does BAST animation mean?
Okay, there's a story behind that, because the original name of the studio, when it was solely my husband's property, right? It was just Barralaga Art Studio. And I was like, okay, we'll just like make that up into las siglas, and it was like BAST, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be the name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so simple.
Yeah, it was like, okay, let's just make it like that.
Yeah, it's shorter. It's short and sweet. I like it. Definitely better for promotion.
I like the spinning wheel thing. I'm sorry. Let's see what we got.
Dude, okay, we gotta take it out.
I hide the choice. You gotta hide. No more palate cleansers. I mean, I have
My palate is sufficiently cleansed.
Your palate is random tab.
Ooh, okay.
All right. We talked about bucket hats being no longer. You brought it up as one of your predictions that bucket hats may or may not go out of style, right? Or you think?
Yes.
So here's an influencer saying fuzzy bucket hats all of 2023.
Oh, so they didn't, because they were in style in the past few years.
They're
So
staying. They're staying in.
they're staying in, but they're
Yeah,
turning fuzzy now.
fuzzy. So bucket hats, not so much.
Yeah,
Fuzzy,
fuzzy bucket hats
fuzzy bucket hats is what you need
in.
for 2023.
Interesting. We'll see where that goes.
All right,
Okay.
let's talk about Nepo babies, okay?
Okay.
So there was an article a while ago, probably, and I had this tag for a while. Vulture
yeah.
published an article which basically enumerated nepotism, Nepo babies in Hollywood, all the way from like Liza Minnelli to like, Angelina Jolie, people that didn't realize that there were Nepo babies.
Yeah. Even George Clooney. Yeah.
The piece drew attention to this is a BuzzFeed News article about it, to the sheer amount of celebs in the acting, music, and modeling world that has famous parents, which undeniably contributed to the industry's success.
Mm-hmm.
While everyday non-Nepo babies circulated the article, many expressed their frustrations at the unfair leg up that so many successful people had. Obviously, it's not a meritocracy. The world is not a meritocracy. It appears
That's
to hit
what I
a
was
nerve
gonna
with
say.
celebrity-living children in question. So some of the responses from the actual Nepo babies: Lily Allen, daughter of actor Keith Allen and film producer Allison Owen, Brandon
Lily Allen. Sorry.
Chief Nepo baby defender, as she insisted, is her privileged upbringing wasn't all that is cracked up to be. What exactly is a Nepo baby?
Thank you for asking,
Nepo baby is anybody who is the son or daughter of a famous celebrity that also becomes an actor.
It's
So
short for nepotism.
yeah, so nepotism. So Nepo baby, nepotism baby. I should have just said that. But part of what I want to talk about, the fact is, for example, this is a story. LVMH CEO Bernard Arnault puts daughter Delphine to lead Christian Dior. So this guy was the Christian Dior leader, and now he's going to put his daughter in charge, which is what Tom Hanks came out and said. This is an industry. This is a family business, Hollywood. If this was a restaurant, if this was a plumbing company and the guy wanted to hand it down to his son, there's been plenty of instances where there is a business owner and there's an obvious person that works at the company. I've seen this in like many movies, right? Where there's a business owner, there's an obvious person that should be the smart person to take over the company. But I think like Caesar, the Gladiator. This is the Gladiator. The plot of Gladiator is he's like, oh, here's my son, but I actually want to give it to a guy who's actually smart, because my son is a Nepo baby. He's an idiot. He's gonna put the country in ruin. So it happens a lot where the right person to run a business is not necessarily the next person in line. Sometimes it is, but it often isn't. So what this article was breaking down was basically the leg up that some actors have gotten. Kate Moss, his sister Lottie Moss, ended up deleting her Twitter account entirely when she said she was sick of the nepotism narrative and advised followers, if you put your mind to something you can accomplish, which is O'Shea Jackson, who starred as his father Ice Cube in movie Straight Outta Compton, claimed that he has to get his ass up and make it work to earn the breakout role of his own dad. Tom Hanks still decided to try his luck as defending nepotism.
Oh no, this is a bad look.
While Tom is a self-made star that was born to a hospital worker and a cook, all four of his children are credited as actors. Colin Hanks starred in The Cargo. Colin Hanks is a good actor. Chet Hanks is a legend.
Yes.
Elizabeth Hanks only appeared in 2 of his movies, and his youngest son, Truman Hanks, was cast to play him as a younger person in the film co-written by Tom's wife, Rita Wilson, in the new one. But Tom did not acknowledge nepotism as a role in children's industries, instead saying that they are just very creative and that filmmaking is a family business.
That seems PC.
So what initially, what are you pro Nepo baby, anti Nepo baby? Sophia, your thoughts?
So here's the thing. I hate when people who are Nepo babies, like their answers when they want to just like say that, like, no, I did this because I deserve it. It's not a meritocracy, and you are correct. But it's also not like nepotism is something that exists in every level, even in the middle class. Like if I know somebody, I'm gonna get them the job, right? It's just kind of how it works. And for rich, this means that your kid in Hollywood is gonna be a star and stuff like that. So it sucks. Part of me does get irked and disgusted by that. We don't know what kind of talent is being pushed down because of the nepotism, because there are these kids who are kids from rich parents that get all of these roles, right? So there's like a sad aspect to it, but then there's my realist take, which is more of nepotism exists, um, and it has existed and it will exist, and the world is not a meritocracy, and sadly we all start off at different points in life, and then we have to make it work from there. Now, what pisses me off is when they can't just admit it, because to me it comes off as ungrateful. I think what the like Hasanabi, for example, he's a nepo baby, and what I like is that he admits it. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I was given something by my parents, and I'm going to work towards it, and I'm going to deserve it, right? Because I think you're right. Colin Hanks, great actor. I think that there's a lot of nepo babies that start off and suck. Kids that start off and then they make something out of it, right? And then they become their own stars in their own right. Like Angelina Jolie, no one really knows that her dad is John Voight. Like it, so because she eventually made a name for
Now,
herself.
when she
So
was starting out, it was more.
exactly, yeah. When you start out, what I mean is like once
It's
you
like,
start off,
okay,
you have a
you
chance.
are someone's daughter.
Yeah, and then you have a chance to make something out of yourself and start from there and show your talent. So once you get there, I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging, yes, I got a head start because of my parents. So it does piss me off when they are so um hypocritical to the point where they're just kind of like, no, I earned
Yeah.
it, I deserve this. It comes off as very entitled and demeaning, and it pisses me off. There's nothing wrong with saying this is not a meritocracy and I got a head start, and I hope that you
It's
will all take me in, and you will let me grow, and you will see that I am going to make a name for myself, and that's it. It is what it is, right? So that's what I
it's
think
the
about that.
same case like with Alejandro and Vicente Fernandez, if you
Uh-huh.
see it that
Oh,
way.
yes, that is a great case. Porque Alejandro Fernandez, wow, he proved himself, but he's a
Yeah.
nepo baby. He started
Yeah,
from
he's a nepo baby.
yes, and he
Okay.
proved himself, and he did great, and he's Alejandro Fernandez, and that's fine. I think it's okay, but like, don't have the audacity to say that you did it
The
all on
gall.
your own. Yeah, the
Yeah.
gall, like the Kardashians that are
It's
like,
like
oh,
have the dignity.
have the dignity to
Nobody
just
wants to
admit.
work anymore.
No, like, bitch, come on. You were given a head start. You stop, please. So yeah, it's yeah, that's kind of my take.
All right,
It irks me.
Sophia's hot take.
My hot take. I don't think it's that hot. Is it hot? What's
All
your
right,
take? What do you guys think?
I'll finish up here. Lily Rose Depp on Nepo Baby label. It just
No,
doesn't
que
make
se chingue.
sense. If somebody's mom or dad is a doctor, then the kid becomes a doctor. You're not going to be like, you're only a doctor because your parent is a doctor. It's like, no, I went to medical school and trained. All right, here's my thoughts. I am 100% okay with nepotism because nepotism has been used as a tool to discriminate against people of color or ethnicities for hundreds of years, right? So nepotism is getting into your parents' school because they got into it as a legacy. It's getting a job in Hollywood in the 40s, 50s, and 60s because you knew somebody, right? And other things. So it's been used forever against it and bias in South America, Latin America. It's also very, we come from very corrupt societies or where corruption is very easy. Like we always know a guy and there's always a way to cut the line and you always got to know somebody, right? So I have no problem with us using nepotism now to get a leg ahead, but it's going to be in there. And part of it is true. Family businesses are family business. And when you're a kid and you idolize your parents, you at some point in your childhood, you're like, I want to do what my dad does, or I want to do what my mom does. Right. So I think that it's very natural. Like Michael Jordan's kid wanted to play basketball, but he just didn't have the talent. I wanted to be a musician, but I was nowhere as talented as my dad. Some people are talented, Lily Rose Depp, I haven't found her super impressive in any of the films I've seen her in, but she's a very pretty model and she's got the Johnny Depp and Kate Moss genes. So obviously she's going to have a career one way or another. That's just her lot in life. So I think for her to say it's only because I went to medical school and trained. I did the job. I think that is just her upbringing and her living that life of privilege. I think that this is probably the first time any of them gets a little bit of pushback in their lives, so they're kind of trying to figure out how to deal with it, which is why they're trying to say something right, but they keep fucking up, you know. And Tom Hanks is being a dad, and he's saying, no, my kids have talent, and this is a family business, and if they want to be actors and they can carry their own weight, at some point, if you take over the company and you sink it to the ground, the talent you have or the skill you have is going to get seen. At some point, no matter what your name is, you're going to have to put up some talent. So it's a leg up. It's not a free pass. It's a leg up, but it's not a free pass is the way I see it.
Sort of. I mean, I will say so it goes back to the conversation where I think we were speaking about people of color in the industry versus, you know, how white people in the industry have all the chances in the world to fuck up. In this case, yes, their talent can and will be shown, but they also have all the opportunities to fuck up. You know, Trump went bankrupt how many times? So, and he had his daddy's money. Whereas somebody who's coming from middle class or nothing, you know, poor and trying to really build up, they might never even get a chance at all. And if they do, and they don't have the chance to fuck up, they just don't have that luxury. So yes, I understand what point you're trying to make, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't think that's necessarily fair, because the Nepo babies do get more chances and more money and more ways of getting trained and becoming talented, right? So yeah, it's not fair. I'm not saying that, like, you know, woe is me, but like, it's not a meritocracy, and I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. So Lily Rose, just say I'm privileged, and it's okay. You're gonna be fine.
It's
It
accept
won't
your
hurt.
privilege. So
Yes.
it's more like accept your privilege, please.
Yes, just accept it and move on, and we will all move on.
Pass,
it's the fact
go,
that you
collect $200 and let's get it on.
Yeah, and let's move on. It's the fact that you have the audacity to sit here and be like, I am talented and I earned everything. That makes you look like a spoiled brat. Yeah, simple.
Yeah. All
Dios
right.
mío.
Moving right along. Okay. So in case we have any actors watching tonight, SAG-AFTRA implements new self-tape audition guidelines for low-budget projects. Basically, as an actress, have you been encumbered by the undue and unnecessary steps that you have to take to self-tape auditions? So SAG-AFTRA greenlit its new low-budget self-taping guidelines, which have been approved by the Guild's 2021 convention. These improvements come in the wake of union-distributed members survey to assess the state of self-taping in the industry. Basically, 93 members participated in the survey, about 5% of the Guild, and 15% of the roles that were up for currently require them to audition virtually through Zoom or some other live platform. And less than 4% of prospective jobs required them to audition in person. 91% of respondents said that they had to provide their own recording equipment for self-tape auditions. 82% said they had been asked to audition on a weekend. 60% said they had been asked to read an excessive number of script pages, and 34% said they experienced long and overly burdensome auditions without pay. Another 22% said they'd been asked to perform physical action or a stunt during a self-taped audition. 8% said they'd been asked to perform a sexually charged act, like kissing or explicitly intimate action, while 6% said they had been to appear in suggestive clothing or in no clothes at all. Nearly half of the respondents said they declined an opportunity to audition because of these burdensome requirements. 5% respondents said they experienced difficult or challenging in submitting a self-tape audition because of a disability. 62% said they'd incurred out-of-pocket expenses to self-tape. 41% had incurred onerous expenses to pay for a reader or a professional taping session. Of those, 20% said they spent more than $100 of their own money in a taping session. Basically, according to the Guild, this data makes it so what they want to do is it will pursue claims for audition pay under specific circumstances, meaning that under certain circumstances for auditions that are onerous, you might be able to get a half day's pay.
Oh, that's good.
I think that's what they
said. And you have to be part of SAG-AFTRA, correct?
Yeah, might be contractually entitled to collect half a day's pay when they audition but aren't hired, though very
Okay.
few ever collect.
Gotcha.
So
That's pretty good.
Karina says, yep, I'm assuming that you guys have had to go through some auditions processes like that.
My self-tape auditions, the ones that I've done, they haven't been super arduous. So I can't relate to like being told to do a lot of stunts and stuff like that, or sexually charged scenes. I haven't encountered that, thankfully, but I will say, doing a self-tape audition takes a long time. Even something super simple, it just takes a long time to like, set up, film, essentially not edit, but like crop or like do all of the stuff and then submit. It does take some time. So if I were to like be told to do a stunt, I think I would probably apply for that. And I think that that's a good thing that it exists. But this might be a hot take, but I think I'll take a self-tape audition over an in-person audition any day.
Really?
I just hate driving and I hate being in a room with people. I get so nervous. When I'm in a room just with myself, I'm like, okay, I record myself. I'm super comfortable. I submit it. And then I'm like, they get to see me. And then if they want to see more, that's when the meeting occurs, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's been working out so far.
All right.
Well, in Honduras, they're actually doing more like that. Like they don't. Well, in the midst of the pandemic, they actually did a bunch of auditions, like with people self recording themselves and everything. And I think that right now there's actually one that they're casting for a feature. And I think that most of the pre-casting part, it's done with self-recording. And then the second part, it's going to be like, okay, in person.
Yeah, I do think that, okay, I love that point that you're making, because I do think that like as a first step, just to see people's faces, to see what they look like and to get their vibe, I think it's a great first step. I think after that, an in-person would be good. So yeah, I agree with you, Ale. What do you think, Big Chief?
I like in-person auditions. I didn't do anything that required casting during COVID, so I never had to do that.
Now, are you speaking as a director or as an actor?
As a director. As an actor, I did a couple, and they were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I would much rather show up. I would much rather just show up and hit my mark and say my lines. Okay. As you know, Sophia, I got what is commonly known as chops.
You're so dumb.
Acting.
You gotta get a bigger hat now.
Yeah, no. Well, no. If it's self-indulgent, I can usually hit it. I can't go much higher than I got like a size 8.
You're gonna be like with a huge hat.
Yeah,
like,
the big sombrero.
Yeah. All right. Hey, size 8 fitted. I'll do that. All right. On a lighter note, we're moving the show to Vermont.
Ay, Dios mío. It took an hour and 17 minutes to talk about Ana de Armas. Dios mío.
Ana de Armas buys a $7 million home in rural Vermont. You got Ana de Armas and Bernie?
And Bernie. Listen, that's where I was going. I'm like, I'll go.
Bernie's over
Sanders.
there. Come on.
Oh, let's go.
All right.
It's cold over there.
All right, this is a fun fact. I want to hear a scary, unsettling fact about you. This person got roasted for this. Before wearing my underwear, I microwave them so they're warm and toasty.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Well, I mean, you could just throw them in the dryer and get that same effect. There's nothing like out of the dryer clothes. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can see that, but I don't know about microwave because you might have to.
I mean, you put food in there.
Getting dragged by a bunch of cold crotchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Radioactive dick and balls or radioactive pussy.
You know, I would never yuck someone's yum.
So, no.
Good for them.
Not for you.
They're not hurting anyone.
Not even if it's like a really cold day.
For me personally, no, I'm okay.
I love your tortilla blanket behind.
Thank you. Yes, it's una tortilla de harina. Cocinada bien rica.
Oh, for you to become like a little boleada.
Yeah, so boleada, yeah, with mi burritos, but yes.
Yeah. I've been looking at it. I'm like, oh, that looks cozy.
It's so cozy. Yeah, and then I just roll up and it looked like a burrito. It's so cute.
Little rolled taco.
Little roll taco. It's great.
All right, let's jump into the Golden Globes.
Karina, that's just asking for a fight.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Karina was at the Golden Globes.
I was gonna say, since we have her here, let's get to talking about that. Can you hop on, Karina? Are you able to hop on?
Oh, she can get if she wants to. I'll send her the link if she wants to talk
Yeah.
about being there in person.
We'll send you the link because we need the tea. You took a picture with ¿Cómo se llama?
Anya.
Anya, yes. Did you give her my number? Did you tell her I'm available?
With Anya Taylor-Joy, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Karina, you don't have to put your camera on if you're not ready. Just we'll send you the link so you can hop on. Tell us your tea, your Golden Globe tea.
we can also pull up her story. All right, so we have our Jenna Ortega and don't be sad, Selena. Don't be sad.
Don't be sad.
That's sad.
That's sad.
Let me see what else we got here. Okay, this was one of my favorite.
All right, next time, Karina. He met Selena too. Dang. Okay, what's up? Oh, Key. Yes, Key.
Wow. Thank you so much. I was raised to never forget where I came from and to always remember who gave me my first opportunity. I am so happy to see Steven Spielberg here tonight. Steven, thank you. When I started my career as a child actor in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I felt so very lucky to have been chosen. As I grew older, I started to wonder if that was it, if that was just luck. For so many years, I was afraid that I had nothing more to offer. That no matter what I did, I would never surpass what I achieved as a kid. Thankfully,
short round.
More than 30 years later, two guys thought of me. They remember that kid.
So was that nepotism?
Aww.
If his friends got him a job,
and they gave me an opportunity to try again.
It doesn't sound like they knew him that well, or maybe they did know him. I don't know. Listen, it's who you know a lot of times.
Yeah.
And or who remembers you, or who always wanted to work with you.
I agree.
Everything that has happened since has been unbelievable.
But man, 30 years of no's.
Daniel Steiner, thank you so much
and
for helping me find my
39 years later, this is them on set of Indiana Jones when he was just a little child, unknown actor, and they both won Golden Globes 40 years later.
Oh.
Steven Spielberg won Best Director for The Fabelmans, and Key won Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
So
that's so cool.
He is so talented. I was like, how has this man not been on screen for so long?
And it's Key. And
you know that in college there was a professor that actually, well, not actually talk about nepotism per se, but he was like, okay, there's something you ought to know, right? I like from the start. It's like you gotta perfect the art of the contactología.
Mm-hmm. It's who you know.
And yeah, it's who you know. It's who can actually push the lever for you so that you can go forward.
Yeah.
You got to. You have to have people that believe in you, or it's unhappy.
Yeah, but you know something he did there? He acknowledged it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think that was the moment of the night for me. And some of the complaints are obviously because you can't have brown people winning awards without people saying that it's woke. They didn't air last year because of a diversity scandal. Gerard Carmichael basically said, "I'm here because I'm black," when he got on stage, saying that that's why he was chosen to host. Overall, I enjoyed it. I had a decent time watching it. Obviously, I had it on in the background. I'm not really like sitting there watching down. our people from the House of Dragon were completely unprepared. They didn't have a table. They only had like 3 people there. Like most shows that were up for best drama had like their table there, all the producers and stuff. HBO had just the 2 actresses that play the queen, young queen and older queen, and the director.
Whoa, they really didn't think they were
3.
winning.
Yeah. They had no idea they were gonna win. It was just them there. Like they were like 100% surprised. The guy was wearing sneakers. The director was wearing like a just a suit jacket with like a sneakers and stuff, and they were faded. They were faded in a hoe.
Hell yeah.
So
that's what the Golden Globes is known for, getting people tipsy. It's great.
Yeah, and then they were saying that some people were getting cut off while others weren't, and that if you were saying some woke stuff that you got to talk longer. I didn't think it. The only person that really got to talk that didn't play music on was Steven Spielberg, or the other guy that was winning a Lifetime Achievement Award. And on Lifetime Achievement Award, they let you talk as much as you want. Yeah. And Steven Spielberg is Steven fucking Spielberg. You know, like he's got to have a little bit of juice in Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
a little juice.
Little juice.
May I speak about the white elephant in the room there?
Please.
That category specifically.
Yes, go ahead.
About the best director, like how the hell is there no woman director nominated? Like that's the way. Yeah, I mean there were. I mean I saw quite a few of the ones that were shortlisted. I mean I think we saw She Said, and I think I saw another bunch of movies, right, that were woman directed that were probably gonna be nominated, and I was like, how are they not nominated? How are they not in the final nominations? It's like,
that's a good point.
Come on.
See, this is a good point for all the people that are saying that Golden Globes were too woke. They didn't even have a woman director, please.
Yeah, it's like, come on, stop saying that if you're not really actually being woke.
Yeah, they don't understand. They just like the word.
Also, this is the Golden Globes. Weren't they canceled like last year? Because
they were canceled last year.
And then this is the lowest rated, lowest watched. I think honestly, award shows are going downhill. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's been.
And also the stats. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, I'm like a YouTuber gets some reviews than the Golden Globes did. Sadly.
This was a funny moment. This is actually, there's been people that like died and like lost their kids in this storm, so it's not that funny, but it was
okay.
This is when she found out that Kevin Costner couldn't accept his award.
He's so much wanted to. I was like, how they write this. Is like, he's so much wanted to be demonstrated. He's so much. If you won, I know we would have won. But you won. So he's so much wanted to be here, but because of the unprecedented weather and flooding, he has to shelter in place in Santa Barbara. Jesus.
So yeah, but I mean, listen, some people have. It's been real.
I know it. That's hard. That's hard because I thought it was funny, but yeah, no, a lot of people are. Oh man, it's just I think it's extra funny because
we're not ready for it.
It's a rich person.
Yeah, that the part
they can't get there when everyone else got there under the same circumstances. It's a little funny.
In a vacuum, yeah. And then it's like, oh, you have to shelter in place in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, the words I had to shelter in place. Like I'm like, okay.
It's like the celebrities that were doing posts during lockdowns. Like, we have to stay at home. We have to do our part. Yeah, bitch. We don't all have a gym and a pool and fucking acres to walk around in and stuff like that. You know. So.
And like half of LA is flooded, and all these celebrities made it there somehow. No one had to shelter in place. So it's just a little laughable. Like it's not like he was in another country or he had to fly in. No, he was in Santa Barbara.
Yeah. It was a bad sight.
Yeah, I'm on Regina Hall's boat. I would have reacted the same way.
It's a funny reaction.
Yeah, it is.
Better Call Saul once again nominated, 0 wins, 0 Golden Globe wins.
Boo!
Bob Odenkirk and Rhea Seehorn. I don't know, man. They deserve it.
They do. What the hell? The last season was so good.
All right. NBC News hires Johnny Depp's attorney, Camila Vasquez, and it irks some of their staff basically some people wrote letters to management because she got hired to be a legal correspondent or a legal analysis, right?
Mhm.
And people are saying that could cloud the coverage of the case. How do you feel, Sophia?
That the argument is that it could cloud the argument of the case.
One unnamed NBC journalist submitted a written complaint to management raising concerns about the decision to hire as an analyst. I guess it could cloud past coverage of the legal battle. I guess that would be the main thing.
I mean, listen, I mean, she got good exposure. She did her job. That job is over. She can benefit. I don't know. I say not guilty.
She's camera ready, so she shouldn't make that face though.
That's not a kind screenshot. Come on.
That's not they're not doing her any favors there.
No, but
it's like, should I do it? Should I not do it?
Yeah.
That's like my this reminds me of a joke my dad would tell, which was that I'll tell it in Spanish for our Spanish audience, that que había un borracho que estaba tratando de entrar a la casa y ponía la llave y no podía abrir la puerta y le seguía poniendo, y el tipo le decía, con los dientes para arriba, and he couldn't figure it out. He said, con los dientes para arriba, so he kept putting
so stupid. Dad joke.
That was my dad's joke. Yeah.
Yes,
so with your teeth up, I guess is the for the kid. Yeah, I mean, she's camera ready. She got some notoriety. I mean, she fits right in with NBC News. Why wouldn't you, have her on? That's the pipeline. You get a job, you get some exposure, you get a news job.
Exactly. And that case is over. I'm just the people that listen. I wasn't on Johnny Depp's boat, so I'm not on her side in any shape or form, but that's just how it goes. Exposure. Now she has a job. Like that thing is over. The case is over. I don't understand why anyone's mad.
What side were you? Were you Team Amber or Team Johnny, Alexa?
I don't know. I don't think I would be able to choose a side, considering that I really didn't get the whole thing about it. Like I don't know what the hell was going on there. I know that I know what was said in Twitter because I followed the thing through Twitter, but that was it.
Yeah, to clarify, I am Team No One. They both suck.
Exactly.
Okay?
I'm like,
just to clarify.
But because it was so controversial. I mean, it was like going up in the news and everything, and on Twitter, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. For an in-depth review and take and coverage, feel free to tune into one of our Mi Gente Show episodes of way back whenever that was being covered. We talked about it a lot.
Oh, okay. I'll probably do that.
we did Hoop Hoop. Yeah, some of our earlier episodes on the podcast you'll be able to see.
I think when that happened, I was actually in the middle of finishing my dissertation for the master's degree or something. Because I was like in the middle of something and I knew that something was happening. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, for me it was the opposite. I had a lot of time on my hands, so I was watching like literally like the freaking court like live.
Yeah, I think I was actually finishing my thesis.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't even pay attention.
No,
to
por eso you were too busy, girl. Getting that master's. Come on. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, moving right along. All right, let's knock out the rest of this. All right, we were gonna briefly touch on the top 10 Latino shows of 2022 that you can watch. Obviously, we got to keep supporting Latino culture. So if you haven't seen any of these shows already and you're looking for something to stream, I'll put the link in the comment section as well to share with everybody in case you want to watch it later. But here's the top shows. Let me know how you feel. Lopez versus Lopez. I've seen it advertised a lot, but I haven't caught an episode yet. Let the Right One In, which was based on a very awesome old horror movie. And this is they made a new show, but they Latinized the characters here. The Lincoln Lawyer, which I've heard nothing but good things about. I like the original movies with Matthew McConaughey. And they Latinized the Latino lawyer, which is good. And then we have, give me a second. Let me write this down here. Menudo Forever. I was actually living in Caracas in the 80s during Menudo Mania, so I might have to watch this just for the lulls here.
Is Ricky still canceled?
Ricky Martin?
Yeah.
because he was trying to have sex with his nephew or something.
Yeah, is he still canceled, or are we okay with him now?
I don't know. That went away for a while. I didn't hear anything new. I think they dropped a lawsuit under the counter lawsuit. I think he just sort of got some good PR behind him and was like gone.
That's fair.
All right, Wednesday, which I just started.
Yay!
Oh, tell me when you finish it, please.
I can't wait to watch that next season. I loved it.
Ay, sí lo viste. Oh, Lou, catch up. We could have been talking about it today.
No,
I loved Wednesday. It was so cool. I think that we watched it with we watched it like we choose our programs to watch together, right? And it's like, okay, we're gonna watch this one together. And it was like, I think in 2 or 3 days that we watched it entirely.
Yeah, same. It took me like 3 days, something like that.
All right, I'll watch it. I gotta listen. I've been watching nothing but independent cinema the last week and a half. So
it's a quick watch.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not doing my job. Like if I start watching something else, although I do. But
I'm rewatching. Like, do you remember that Argentinian novel that was on Disney Channel called Floricienta?
Floricienta la novela, but like from a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm rewatching it like entirely. It's on YouTube. You can actually rewatch it completely.
Wow.
Oh, really? Yeah. And for free, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. And my husband right now is like, oh my gosh, you're rewatching that, and it's so long. You're gonna be there forever.
I love it. I gotta watch it.
I want to watch this. It got canceled, so I want to go back and watch it. Los Spookies. And of course Andor, which I've gone on a podcast about, which is fucking awesome. Gordita Chronicles, which got canceled.
Oh, come on.
No, we were just talking about that, man.
This Fool, which is probably my favorite Latino show of the year, on
really
Hulu.
Funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. Chris Estrada said he would do the show at some point, but I know he's super busy and they just picked up season 2, so we're hopefully gonna have him on the show at some point this year.
Cool.
Which will be cool. I hit him up when it had just launched and I watched it and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then afterwards it kind of blew up, so it happens.
Here's a nice resolution for the pod. First Chris Estrada, then Diego Luna, then Jen
then Diego Luna.
Yes, all right.
And then our final form, Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we retire on that show.
Yes.
We can't do nothing else after that. Yeah.
No, after that it's over.
Hang up the microphone. Sit there like what's his face at the end of Endgame.
Oh my gosh.
Who's the guy? The guy with the I forget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
See, the guy with the freaking the ring.
Diego Luna. That's it. I'm just kidding.
Oh
yeah.
No, the bad guy. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm blinking. Anyway, I'm gonna think about it like in an hour. Hold on.
It's like the hand with the hand.
No, third. I can't. Yeah, the guy that wants the things.
Yeah, the snap guy.
Yeah, the boom.
Yeah, we don't have enough young men in the chat tonight.
He looks like a scrotum.
He looks like a scrotum. Diego Luna. That's him. All right, one more palate cleanser, and then I want to do Noname's Way.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Can I tour your apartment? Holy crap. This is so cool.
All this is scripted. I moved out when I was 15, so I've had a lot of diseases. Mostly all just old dental shit. We're in my library / music room. I have my medical encyclopedias here from the 1940s. Wow. How to do a tracheotomy. You slit it, and then discussion would stick a straw in there.
There's a typewriter here. Do you actually use it?
I do. I write my songs on it.
What's going on down here?
Nugget. Good morning.
That's your pet possum. Are they mean or anything?
No, what? These are all of my wardrobes.
These are huge wardrobes.
They open up. My favorite thing in my apartment would have to be Daner violin with a rattlesnake tail inside of it.
You strike me as someone who would have a rattlesnake.
It's wild.
How do you have so much space? This makes no sense. You'll never move out? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, never. That's all it could be.
So you have 2 bathrooms?
Yeah.
Is this just for like going number 2s?
I lost half a finger putting in this light fixture. You have to pull it really hard.
Oh, you just broke your light. I like your pots.
Thank you.
Private roof deck. Yeah, this is cool. We didn't fall through. High five.
Is that Lily Rose?
Found your keys.
Oh, thank you. I was looking.
More comfortable than mine. Those are all the clothes for your possum?
Well, I figured since I had so many wardrobes, it was only fair.
That's cute. All right. How was
That's
that a palate
interesting.
cleanser?
Okay, I
You're
think I can
muted. You're
show. I can
muted.
think. I
No, the question is she a better wife candidate for you or for me?
You can have her.
You, no, you know that was not
No, that was
maybe little
that was cringe. That
little
wasn't.
possum, little possum. I know she's like New York sexy.
That was cringe. That was like $3,000 mansion. What are you talking about?
No, she's in the village somewhere in New York.
Mm.
All right. I was just asking. You don't have to get all mad about it.
You can have her.
I never
Ana
said
de
I
Armas
wanted her.
now. Listen, if we ever met Ana de Armas.
Listen, if we ever met Ana de Armas, that's the
okay,
last
put it as a resolution, Sophia, for the pod.
pod
Like
resolution.
at some point,
See,
you're gonna have it. You're gonna have that interview. It's like,
yes.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Luis would not be able to string 2 words if Ana de Armas ever
No,
They'll be like,
spoke to him.
man, listen,
Yeah.
we'll get what? Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather. If you're asking me, would I rather have her on the podcast or would I rather have her in a movie? I'd rather have her in a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that way,
Then that way we can
get her on the podcast. Get her on the podcast.
We would love that.
Blah 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 blah. All right, let's do an anonymous way.
Okay.
Now it's time for
No names way.
No names way.
No names.
All right, no names way. Anonymous advice for unqualified podcasters.
That's us.
What,
Pretty slow with that wine, bud.
Wait, hold on. Are you? Let me see. Hey, I'm taking it easy. All right, I'm. Is that you that's crackling, or is that me that's crackling? Is that me that's crackling?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, wait. It's me? It's interesting. Let me lower my mic for 2 seconds here if I can do that, if I'm crackling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me check my audio. Is that me? All right.
It's just like background noise, I think.
Is it?
Could be from your bathroom or something. Is something running?
No, I hear like a cracking. I don't know if it's just me or if it's happening. That's right. Maybe if I just stand still. All right. Let's just get this going.
Okay.
Anna will see this one day. Yes, she is. She's my favorite.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. We have a question from overworked and underappreciated.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was a crackling fire for a minute.
I feel it.
Huh?
Oh, the title. I feel it.
Overworked and underappreciated, right? Here is their question.
Okay.
I feel like we should just do this again so people understand what's happening.
Okay.
It's only 2 seconds.
Now it's time for
No names way.
No names way.
No names.
All right,
Yeah.
anonymous reset. Anonymous way. Anonymous advice from unqualified podcasters. Here's the first question of the day coming from overworked and underappreciated. Here's a question. I have always been the person in a team that did all the work while the so-called leader would get most of the credit. I've become more aware of this after school and now in the business world. The other day, I had my performance review with my immediate boss. She asked me if I had any ideas that the company could implement to be more efficient. I gave her a few suggestions I had been thinking about. She nodded her head and we moved on. Cut to a week ago at our all-hands-on New Year's meeting with all the department heads presenting their goals and projects for the start of the new year. When my boss gets up to talk, wouldn't you know, she almost word for word spells out my plan for our department, efficiency goals, and never mentions me once. The room approves, and later on when she meets with us, she puts 2 other people in charge of the project and not me. She avoids my glare the rest of the day, but I make it a point to stay late and catch her on her way out, where she tells me before I can get my rage out that she's already had the plan in place, that I merely reinforced those feelings, but that she gave me a really positive review and that I should get my raise approved if I asked. And that I will have my choice of other assignments and possibly an upgraded cubicle for being so dedicated and loyal. I have the notes I have been taking on the initiative, and I could show them to the upper management type to prove that she cut me out of my own idea. But I think I can also name my price to stay quiet. How do I do?
She can name her price. Or they? Is it a she or he? They.
They no. She says she is the boss, but I don't. It doesn't say what she is.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, okay. They said they can name their price to quiet. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm such a snitch in situations like this. I would report to HR. I would cause a ruckus and then I would quit. That's just bullshit. I don't know. I can't deal with shit like that. I'm too old. I'm annoyed. I get annoyed when do stuff like that. I wasn't meant for the corporate world because I don't like when people steal ideas. I don't know. What do you do in that situation?
But you got to think about what is going to the upper management going to do.
Yeah,
right?
because obviously she has them in their pocket, so
you can go and you can say, hey, listen, the idea that I'd like to file a complaint that I pitched an idea during my review and my boss took it as her own. What if worst case scenario, when she talked to the upper level management, they're like, oh no, she mentioned it to us that you had also mentioned it. And then you feel stupid. If your relationship with your boss is you think she's not going to be a really cool person and she's probably sneaky or corrupt, she probably didn't do that. But she's also basically telling you that you can get a cushy new cubicle and that if you ask for a raise, it's going to get accepted. So that's some pretty decent leverage in today's job environment.
yeah.
You know?
I suppose you could just continue with that, not ruffle any feathers, get your cushy upgrade, and then just not trust her moving forward. Just keep your information next time she asks for.
Keep those notes because it could come up later on, and when you're like, "Listen, I stayed quiet when you guys were stealing my ideas." So I think that I would just name my price. I would ask for a nice raise. I would say that I had a great positive review and that I contribute greatly to the company. And I would say that I need a new fancy chair. And that I need
standing desk.
Standing desk. And then I would ask for like all my vacation days to be approved like at the beginning of the year so I could plan my vacations. Yeah. Alexa, what do you think?
I already put it in the private chat, but yeah, I would definitely, like, without thinking, because I think I actually had sort of a same situation at some point last year. Because I was like undecided on a job, and I mean it was a really good pay, but it wasn't really worth it. I was like, okay, no. I was like, no, no. In that case, I would definitely quit, like the one that you're telling. Yeah,
So
I would definitely quit.
You'd be out the door.
Yeah, I would be like, nope. You know what? Bye. I'm out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even stress yourself out. Sophia?
It's just two perspectives, right? You can either play their game where, you could go the Lou way and like just get as much as you can out of it. And now moving forward, you can't trust this person. Play the game, play ball, and try to win. Or
it's not a clean environment.
It's not a clean environment, exactly. So you would have to uncleanly play, but like you can get a lot out of it, juice it out. Or if you, like Ale said, if you don't stand for getting your ideas stolen and you're not okay with that, then quit. Find another job first, secure a better position. And yeah, but I can't say that if you're sticking with the corporate world, it's a trend. So be this might continue at other companies as well, sadly.
Sophia, sadly, you are the crackling.
I'm the crackling?
You are the crackling.
Oh, no.
You're crackling a little.
How did you determine that? I'm going to mute.
Because when you were talking, I muted everybody else and I still heard it. So it's a little, you're a little bit high. You're a little bit high. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe.
We'll figure it out. Let me see what I could do.
Are you connected through your? Make sure you're not connected to your mic. But in your audio settings, it could be picking up your mic that's by your neck instead of the one that's in front of you.
Let me check.
So just go to settings and then the audio, and then what's your audio device?
Audio.
It could
All right,
be
well,
just
let's continue. Just continue.
Let's continue. All right. Anyway, so my advice is to consider your leverage. And if you know, Alexa says if you feel that you are there, that just think about the overall situation. That might just be worth it to just walk away. I would, if I walked away, I would set some fires. So if I was going to do Alexa move and walk away, I would first go to upper management and be like, hey, listen, this is what happened this week. My boss stole my ideas, presented it as her own, and I don't want to work for this country anymore. Boom, blow it up on your way out. And then maybe they fire that manager and they hire you off for a better position and you get to clean house. Or if you're just, like Sophia said, don't make a move until you got another move in place. Make your next move your best move. Keep hustling. Take whatever deal you can get a raise, get a couple of heavy paychecks under your belt, maybe get a nice chair. Maybe see if they let you work from home a little bit, you know, do something like that. Try to make your life a little bit easier. And then you obviously have good ideas. You're obviously suited for a better position down the line. So keep hustling, update your resume, and take it from there.
Yeah, you have options. Those are basically the two options, right?
Yeah, you got those are your two options.
Yeah.
All right. And next question comes to us from Do I Have to? Okay. Do I have to writes moved into a brand new place with my longtime girlfriend of 4 years. We finally gave up our own places to get a place together, so that we decided that we would only keep things that we both of us said yes to after the essentials in a this or that situation. So I figured my history of shower curtain would not make the cut, but thought some of my collectibles, random posters, niche art would. She kept saying no, even after I allowed some girly garbage to pollute where we poop. It's a small place, nice living room, but no man cave or office, and I don't work at home, so I just want to look at my cool stuff on the wall and not have to leave it in storage until we get a house, or if it does not work out. Compromise, schmompromise. I want to win and get my stuff on the walls. What do I do?
Ooh, we've gotten a question that was similar to that before, right?
Yeah, we had a decoration question about stuff like that. Let's have Alexa start today. How do you compromise in terms of home decorations with the husband? Who gets the pig?
Like, okay, I'm gonna give you the wife perspective here.
Okay.
So, well, the artwork in our apartment, I actually selected it because it's part of the family like heritage as well from my family, from my mom's family. So I got the wall decor and the layout, like the arrangement of the furniture and everything. I give him that freedom, like to move it around as he wants, because he sometimes is like, okay, it's boring to have the table where it is and the sofas where they are, so let's flip the room or whatever. And I'm like, okay, just do you, don't worry, I'm fine. Then it's just Charlie and me just walking around being like, what the hell happened this year? But it's like, okay, the human did that. Because my dog, when he sees things moving, it's like, what's going on over here?
Oh, I love your dog. He's so cute.
Yeah, but like we do compromise, because I think that we do compromise, and we're like, okay, we're gonna put this stuff here, this stuff there, and like to make it have some harmony by itself, right?
Yeah,
because that's super important.
What does he get to decorate?
Like the furniture, placing.
He gets to make it feng shui.
Yeah, like he takes the feng shui part there.
Would you? Okay, has there been
personal feng shui style?
Has there been a moment where you not threw out, but like said no to things that he wanted to put up?
Not really.
Okay.
No, not really.
Cool. Oh man, that's difficult. I feel like this happens in couples where like both people own stuff that are very near and dear to their heart, and they're like, I have to have this like in the mantle, or like, and then they clash. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like I think that both the girl and the dude's attitude, they're like too toxic for each other or something.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 years, you're not married yet, you're barely getting a place together. you're both, if you've been a couple for 4 years and you still haven't lived together, that's a tough one. That's you're trying to have it both ways. You're trying to have your cake and eat it too. So there might be some deeper relationship issues there, in as much as why did it take you so long to get a place together, and why and most of the time it's, oh, we decided to stay in my boyfriend's, or we decided to stay at my girlfriend's because her place is nicer, or blah blah blah, you know. But this is like a brand new fresh space to both of you. This is definitely a new house test for marriage. So if she's saying that we're doing all minimalist, or we're doing all lady stuff, and you're like, but I want my Thor poster,
Get a two-bedroom
you
and
know,
be
two
roommate.
bedroom and roommates said, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would work for me. 2 master bedrooms would
Not
work
gonna lie, same.
relationship wise for me. Absolutely. Having your own
You know
space is
that when we
so
first got, when we
so
were
goated.
just married with my husband, we actually moved into his apartment, and then we got like an apartment together. And I mean, it was so funny because he lived literally at the last floor of the building, and he was like when I moved in, right? And it was so funny because he was like, "You're taking our necessary stuff all the way up that we're gonna have to bring down like a month later." And I was like,
Oh my
"Well, so
gosh.
this is what it is. I don't know."
So you guys lived together just for a month and then moved out
It was like we
together?
lived there for like a month, then
Yeah.
and during that month we started looking for another place, which was actually our first apartment together.
Okay.
And I mean, it was where it was where we spent the entire pandemic, like the entire pandemic. And my mom was like, "Okay, you guys have been all day together through the pandemic. Your marriage is like conflict wise, like it has proof that you
Bulletproof.
could actually work. Yeah, bulletproof. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
word.
Oh yeah. If you
Yeah,
can
so
if
it's
you can
bulletproof.
stand each other through the pandemic, you'll make it through anything.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's
I
true.
well, I was gonna say just bottom line is compromise. Sadly,
Yeah.
like
The man said compromise schmompromise. He wants to
oh,
win.
okay, so he wants to win.
He wants to
Then
win. He
the
doesn't want to
food is
compromise.
the problem.
I want to know, and I want to know what if the girlfriend is compromising, or if she's like no, like straight up saying no to his
Basically, I
thing.
think they're like, they moved in and they each put a thing on the table, and she's like, we can only keep stuff that we both agreed to. So he saw some of her stuff. He's like, this is for the bathroom. It's like a towel thing, and he's like, yeah, yeah. And then he's like, this is my, I don't know, freaking
Lego collection.
this is my Lego Battleship Galactica replica.
Yeah.
And she's like,
She's like,
no. And he's
no.
like, what? And she's like, just put it in storage. And he's like, okay, this is my replica Thor hammer. And she's like, no, I want to put this by the toilet. And she's like, no,
Ay,
you know. And
niño.
he's like, what the fuck? I want some of my stuff up.
You have to compromise, and you have to not be petty, because if you're gonna say yes to her things and then refer to them as the whatever atrocities she put in the bathroom or whatever you said, that's not fair either, because now you sound
Listen, the guy's
resentful,
got potty golf. He wants to be able to play
and it's
potty golf.
not, I know, right? And it's not helpful to the relationship to just build resentment. So communicate and compromise.
Listen, but if you want to win, what you need to do is you need to
Break up.
inflate the value of your stuff, say that it was passed down from generations, do a fake bid on eBay to make it seem more expensive, or at the end of the day, just break some of her shit and throw a tantrum.
Yeah, just
be
burn
like,
burn it down.
I mean, I'm
Burn
serious.
the
Like,
place down. Why
just
not?
take some of her shit and just break it, and just
Yeah,
start the
there you
process of
go.
the breakup, because you guys are not going to stay together if you
No,
can't figure out what you want to
if
put out.
listen, if you are looking to win, this isn't a lasting relationship. I'm sorry. That's just
Look.
not teamwork. You're not gonna last.
Look, I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of stuff. I got a big wall
Tóxicos.
of,
Yes,
of
cariño.
Funko Pops here. I absolutely need my own space. I would not be able to go stay with somebody if I did not have I need an office for editing and podcasting and doing my
And you
work.
know that, and you're aware
And
of
I
that.
need
And
that.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's like,
so maybe that's another option. Maybe instead of trying to share space, trying to decorate shared space, you can have your own. I don't know where their living situation is, but you
he said
should
it's
get an
small.
office space or something.
Yeah, he said there's
Oh,
no room
that's
for a man
rough.
cave or anything. So yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to put some shit in storage, man, and
You are.
you're gonna have to put some shit in storage, and you're gonna have to toxic. And you're gonna have to figure out if this is a good place for you to be.
Yeah, the mentality of wanting to win, it's not how you build a long-lasting
I get it.
relationship. So
I get it.
communicate and compromise,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, you got it. All right, we got three more tabs, and then we're gonna get to our bid at the end of the show. The last things I wanted to talk to you. Rebecca Black is the latest person to burn Andrew Tate.
I love. Oh yeah.
She this is an Andrew Tate music video that resurfaced recently.
I love that. Oh no, it's so cringe. Oh.
Yeah, the leather on the Bentley. They call them plenty. All right, anyway. So
So cringe.
her tweet was, I was 13, this man is 36.
I love it. What's his excuse? You're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Oh my
but
god.
if you go deeper into this, did you know she's like a lesbian like icon now? Like
I did.
She's like super gay, and she's like oh,
I tweeted about it when she came out because
Yeah?
fuck, how did I know? Oh, she collabs a lot with another YouTuber that I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't know. But yeah, I was happy for her when she came out. It was awesome.
She went from Friday to
Damn.
Gay.
Right,
hey,
I don't know.
There you go. I was like, hey.
Yeah, I think I thirst tweeted. I think I was like something like Rebecca Black date me. Something like that. It's great. Good times.
All right. So we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Bad Bunny is headlining Coachella. But you've already seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Frank Ocean and Bjork on Sundays.
I also just don't
Bad
like
Bunny.
I don't know, the idea of Coachella just isn't attractive to me.
Yeah.
Big music festivals just now.
I want to go to old Chella.
Oh yeah. Back
Biggest
when it was
time
like vans
Yeah.
and like you slept in it and it's like 10 bands, 10 indie rock bands. Like,
All right. Gwen Stefani, back up to her shenanigans. She once again addressed long-standing accusations of cultural appropriation pertaining to their Harajuku era.
That's not her Chola era too.
Declaring that she had been so inspired by the culture of Japan that she considers herself Japanese.
Oh,
In an interview with Allure about her new beauty line, the singer judged Black on her work inspired by Japan's Harajuku subculture, including her 2004 album Love Angel Music, Baby It's Track, Harajuku Girls, and the 2008 fragrance line Harajuku Lovers. Stephanie said it should be okay to be inspired by other cultures. She also stated, I'm Japanese.
She did not. She did?
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I love cultural appreciation. I love that. I love that bit where the guys got like the Mexican hat and the mustache, and he goes to all the young white people, and they're like, "Yes, I'm offended." Like he's like, "Are you Mexican?" Then yes, we're offended. And then he goes to the fucking barrio, and everybody's like, "No, you look good. Don't worry about it. You're good."
Yeah.
You know. I love cultural. I think that we get too caught up on cultural appropriation versus because I really love, our show's called Mi Gente show, obviously. So it should be about respecting, but also promoting other cultures. And if you go to a lot of places in the world, that's how they make their money. They want you to buy the things, and they want you to buy the kimonos in Japan and all that stuff. But this and especially with her history, it's a little bit on the nose for her.
Yeah, it's difficult to know the difference between appreciation and appropriation, and then also when you're profiting off of it, that adds another layer. Ale, what's your take on this? I'm curious.
I think they don't really understand the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. Because I mean, well, I've seen it a lot, like with the animated films. That's something I really love, the part that when they do all the research and everything, and they have the cultural trust, like they did with Encanto, like they did with Moana, for example. And I think with Luca, they had a really huge cultural trust for Italy as well. And it's like, no, they're actually taking what they and making it truthful so that people like that live there don't feel offended about what they did. No, it's like using it correctly. It's like the manual, right, that we don't get in life. It's like, okay, if we're doing this thing correctly, you have to do this, this, and this. And the cultural trust in movies is the same freaking thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the manual, like, okay, if we're doing this correctly, you got to do it this way and that way and that way. But yeah, I think that most people don't really understand the difference between appropriation and cultural appreciation.
And what do you think about Gwen Stefani specifically? Do you think that
I think that
for
she
history?
probably doesn't really understand it correct, like as it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I love Mexican culture, but I don't consider myself Mexican because I wasn't even born in Mexico, for example. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I just love the culture, but I don't consider myself that because I'm not that. It's like, no, it's like there are limits, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, exactly. I think there's a difference between liking a culture, appreciating it, learning, really even like living it, and experiencing it versus playing dress up and profiting. Right, which is ultimately what she did. Is it exposure? Yes. Is it the kind of exposure that is respectful? That's for each individual Japanese
Do you
person and
have
Latino
a?
to decide, right?
I mean, she's from Orange County, right? So do
She's an
you?
OC, yes.
But remember, we gave the guy in our intro
so many.
The just do it guy.
Jason Sudeikis. Este pendejo. Shia LaBeouf.
My dog has a similar Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
We gave him a pass for the brown face when he was playing the white cholo from the that every hood got a white guy, that's down like that. So do you give her more of a pass for the chola look, being as so she is from Orange County, where there is obviously not as much as down south, versus Japan, where she just viewed them from afar?
That gets into the question of the separation of arts in the sense that acting, that's a whole different thing of like, let actors act. Is it appropriate to act a different race, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Versus doing music, which I am okay when, so here's my thing. I'm okay, and some people are going to disagree, obviously, but I'm okay when an artist takes inspiration from a culture. Shakira had that Middle Eastern face, all that stuff.
But she has heritage from Middle East. I mean, part of her family is from Middle East as well. She has Lebanese heritage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just mean like within the music, I can give it a pass to a certain extent, but when it's like aesthetic in the music video and it just comes off as like performative, I don't know.
So she has a little bit more of the chola stuff is a little bit less cringe than the Japanese stuff.
Like if you take like a beat drop and you put it in your song, I'm gonna respect it a little more than if you wear a sombrero and have a matraca. It's kind of like one looks like you're mocking, and the other one is like, okay, I'm drawing inspiration from this culture, and then just accredit them, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like there's a difference.
I agree with your comment there, Sophia.
Thank you.
Yeah, because yeah, and considering the example with Shakira, now that it's also a hot take, right? Like did you guys know that she hit 50 million? Oh yeah.
Libya and Colombian descent, yeah.
Yeah. So right now the song that dropped yesterday, like the song that dropped from Bizarrap, I think that's the name.
Bizarrap? Yeah.
It was collaboration.
It hit 50 million views on YouTube today. Like 2 seconds. So it was like a super record, apparently.
Yeah, I had it as a tap, but I don't want to get ourselves.
And I was re-listening like all of the Shakira hits like before this when I was walking Charlie.
I love
she needs the money too, because she's the Spanish government's still trying to take more money from her.
Yeah. So it's a thin line to draw between style and mocking a whole culture. So I don't know. You just gotta do it tastefully, and I don't know. I'm not the authority.
Was it mocking?
It's not. I don't know. And that's on the eye of the beholder, right? I don't know.
Right. I
Death
don't know.
of the artist, death of the writer. Once you put your art out there,
I just think that her being from the OC gives the Cholo incident a little bit less. I think it's less egregious than the Japanese thing.
I agree. I will agree with that. Yes.
And although
There are limits.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's that, we always see those videos about that whole Japanese subculture, and it's not millions of them. It's a small group, but that they're pretty much all like choloed out the entire time with the lowriders and everything, and they're just like full on living that life.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not canceling her, and I'm not saying that she should be canceled, but I am saying that it's cringe.
All right.
I don't know. But they're not mutually exclusive. We can all coexist together. It is
moving
very
right along. I don't know.
You have nothing else to say? No other thoughts?
No, I mean, I just thought it was interesting. It was our last tab there. All right, so we have been live all evening with Alexa Jimenez. You can find her at Soy Alexa Jimenez on Twitter, and you can find her at soyale.jimenez93 on Instagram. We will have links to her production company in the info to the video, as well as to the podcast that will be released next Tuesday on Mi Gente Show, wherever you get our podcast. And if you missed any part of this and you're joining us late, you can catch the video on demand on our 2AM Burrito channel on YouTube, Facebook, Mi Gente Show, and twitch.tv/Mi Gente Show. So we want to thank our guest, Alexa Jimenez, for coming on. But we do have one last thing that we do with all our guests, well, most of our guests, when I remember to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you saw last week, and it's something we like to call the bracket bit.
All right, boys and girls, you know what that sound means. It's time for bracket bit. Bracket bit. Bracket bit. Woo, 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 woo. Bracket bit. Bracket bit. Woo, 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 woo.
Fireside chats.
All righty, coming to the end of the show, we've talked about many topics, so many that we had to leave some for next episode. But we are joined by somebody who has and is continuing to make animated movies. So what better chance? And we had Guillermo del Toro, Pinocchio, won for Best Animated Movie, where he said animation is not it's not a genre, it is a medium. It is a medium.
It's a medium.
For us to tell our stories. There's been tons of great animated movies. Some of my favorite shows are animated shows like BoJack Horseman, which I'm wearing their shirt, or Aqua Teen Hunger Force, or Lucy Daughter of Devil, or tons of cartoons that we grew up with, adult shows, kids shows. But today, since we have a filmmaker on, we're going to do a bracket. It's called Animation Nation, and it is best animated films of all time. I'm going to give you two classic, or what I feel are classic animated films, and you're going to tell me which one moves on to the next round. You can choose whatever methodology you want to complete the survey, which one you like the most, which one you would watch next if you had to watch one of them, which one is most important to you, which one you'd like to remake. I just ask that you keep the same methodology through the entire bracket. Are you okay? You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, here we go. And away we go. All right, in the first round, we have Spirited Away. By a lot of measures, one of the best animated movies of all time. And I used to really love this book when I was a kid, The Little Prince.
I think, well, I'm going to go with my favorites. Probably. Yeah, I'm going to go with my favorites.
Okay.
I would choose Spirited Away.
All right. And if you want to expand on any of these, even the ones that you don't select how you feel about them, you feel free to do that as well.
I really like The Little Prince, but I think I've watched more times Spirited Away. Because it's a classic from Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, it's awesome. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Wes Anderson's attempt at claymation, and South Park, bigger, longer, uncut.
I think I would go with Fantastic Mr. Fox.
All right, Aladdin. Go ahead.
Because I really like stop motion, even though I haven't done anything with stop motion, but at some point I hope I do. So stop motion's really, yeah, I really like it.
Take your notes. All right, we have Aladdin or Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Love
Up or Pinocchio, the original.
Okay, that one's really hard.
Yeah.
This is
You
where I
put
remind
your
you that the bracket bit is created to cause maximum pain.
Yeah. Okay, so are we talking Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio or the first version?
I was saying
which
original.
Pinocchio?
Original.
Okay, I will go with Up then.
Got it. Well, the original. I mean, I remember the original. I watched that a ton as a kid.
I was scared as
Yeah,
hell,
but
but yeah.
I would go with Up.
All right. My Neighbor Totoro or Frozen.
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 Mhm.
The Lion King or Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I think I will go with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about one of the mentors there that was part of that movie.
Yeah. Respect there.
Uh-huh. The Lego Movie or Coco.
Coco. All the
Yes.
way. All the
Sorry,
way.
I'm biased.
Dumbo or Shrek.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Why are you doing that? Okay. If we're talking, I think, yeah, I've seen more times Shrek than Dumbo, probably. Yeah,
All
so
right.
let's go with Shrek.
Okay.
Wally,
And that.
which made us feel so much for a robot, or Encanto.
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 Mhm.
The Iron Giant or Minions.
Minions.
There you go. The Incredibles or Ratatouille.
Oh my gosh. Come on. How can you put two Pixar movies together?
That's how.
Yeah, that's really bad. Come on.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
Okay. I think I would go with Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
So Incredibles and that humongous donk on Elastigirl.
You know that right now in the animated film, the short film that we're making, I'm actually using a lot of Brad Bird's thing that he used for the little red camera.
Oh yeah.
because I have some tiny characters for the animated film that we're making. So I was talking with Osman, and I was like, okay, we can use like sort of the one that they used in Ratatouille, and he was like, yeah, I think I got you. I know what you're talking about here. And so we're actually taking that point of view.
There you go.
Yeah, for the animated film.
Oh, I mean, hopefully you share that with us when it's ready, because I'd love to see.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know when
Yes,
it's ready for.
It's festival run.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. We got The Little Mermaid or Fantasia.
The Little Mermaid.
Fantasia on some good acid. That's a Sunday afternoon right there. All right. Toy Story or Spider-Man Into the Multiverse.
Come on. Okay, that one's really hard to choose because I like them both. But let's go with Toy Story.
Toy Story. She's going with some classics.
Classics, yeah.
I'd rather go with the classic there.
Spider-Verse is, top shelf animation, top shelf storytelling.
It's really good.
Top shelf Marvel.
It's really good. I mean, I really liked it, and I think we saw it with my husband like a few times because he loved it, and I was like, okay, yeah, but he's more of a Spider-Man fan than me, so.
We got violence versus violence here. We got Bambi, which broke my heart as a kid, or Akira.
Bambi.
Yeah.
Beavis
I'm
and
sticking
Butthead.
with the classics here.
Yeah. It's a theme.
Beavis and Butthead Do America or Snow White?
Okay, I like the Beavis and Butthead, but I'll go with Snow White.
Snow White.
Let's keep on the classic theme there.
The Mitchells versus the Machines or Nightmare Before Christmas?
There I'm gonna give it to the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Really, Nightmare Before Christmas is a classic considered by a lot.
I know,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Between both, I like better the Mitchells, and
Mm.
I already have a stop motion before.
All right, so moving right along, we got Spirited Away or Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Spirited Away.
All right, Inside Out or Up?
Okay, then I made it hard for myself there.
Yeah.
I
Look,
think I'm
listen,
gonna
sometimes
go
I
with.
say flip a coin. Sometimes I say, hey, if you had to watch one of these right now after the stream, which one would you pop in? You know, or you can
I
just
would go with Inside Out.
Inside
Yeah,
Out.
I would go with
Yay.
Inside Out.
I love it.
Frozen or Roger Rabbit.
I think I would go Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I mean, it is sort of a mix of live action and animation, but I think it's so.
That's what I like about it. That's what I like about it.
All right, we got Coco or Shrek.
Let's go with Shrek.
Shrek.
Oof, Coco.
Oof, Coco.
Me dolió.
Coco. Coco goes down.
Goes down.
All right. Encanto or Minions?
Encanto.
Encanto moves on. Now,
can I just ask? Wait, yeah, I want to ask Encanto or Coco?
Okay, that one's hard. Because I like them. I think I like them both equally. Because they're both so good.
Mm-hmm. Choose one, please. Pretend it's in the bracket.
I don't know. I think I will go with Encanto.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think, I mean, I've said this before, but I really enjoy the fact that Encanto is Colombian, but I think that it feels like it could have been about a half a dozen other countries in South America or Central America. And you could have easily told the same story. So even though I appreciate it and I love for Colombian kids that it's a huge movie and that it's centered in Colombia, and I love the touches that they put about the culture, the food explicitly, but I do think that Coco did it better in terms of specifically to the culture.
Oh yeah, 100%. They got the Mexican culture.
That was way
just
more understandable
so
in Coco. That was more understandable in Coco.
Yeah.
Encanto wasn't really. It was more about the songs and the performances and the stuff a little bit more. Coco had more story, more heart, more directly
more
related
culture.
To it. Yeah, it's more cultural to. Yeah, it had a lot more culture than Encanto did. I mean, anyway, Ratatouille or The Little Mermaid.
Okay, I'm making the second bracket harder on myself.
What happens?
They only get harder going forward.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. Toy Story or Bambi. Two classics.
Toy Story.
You Got a Friend in Me. Snow White or The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Let's go with the Mitchells.
The Mitchells versus Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Encanto and Ratatouille.
Okay, yeah, that one's a hard one.
It happens.
Okay, because in this one, I think I would take it more like, let's take it like with the sing-along ability.
Sing-along ability. All right, we're switching here. We're switching methodologies. So you're gonna go with
like on this one at least, because the one that I always hit like songs on my playlist is Encanto.
Okay. Encanto moves on. And then we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Shrek?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I think I've watched that movie like dozens of times.
Oh, I've watched.
Because it's really good. And Spirited Away would be on that one.
All right. We got here our final four. We got 4 classics of animation.
Final four, baby.
All right. We got Spirited Away, which is by any account one of the best animated movies of all time. And then we have a movie that's very special to you because of the times and because of the connections you have to it. So the choice is yours.
I think I would go there with Spirited Away.
Spirited Away moves on. And then on the other side, 2 other classics. Each of these could be the final. Encanto or Toy Story.
That was quick.
She's without making a quick decision. Without thinking. That's the way to go. Go with your gut. All right, here we go. Spirited Away, Toy Story.
I think I would go with Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Interesting. And Spirited Away falls. All
the
right.
Nepo baby's daddy wins again. Tom Hanks.
It's a classic, man. It's a classic.
Listen, I've watched Toy Story probably 800 times with the Minions, so I know all the ins and outs of that franchise.
Yeah.
And you learn the dialogues, like without thinking it. You learn the dialogues.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
trust me. Anything that's Toy Story or Minions or Kung Fu Panda related, I know everything about. I know all the characters. I even
know
sit here
that
and I criticize it. I'm like, what the hell? Why would they do that? You know?
you know that with my sister, I think it was, and with my cousins, we actually watched and rewatched Shrek for some reason. I don't know why, and we ended up like learning the dialogues in Spanish, and it was so funny because like when we were going on road trips, we would be like, "Ya merito llegamos, ya merito llegamos, ya merito llegamos," like from the other movies, and it was like, "Come on."
Oh my god. That was
Like,
actually one of my questions is do you watch these films in Spanish or English?
Well,
Or do
the
you have a
first time,
preference?
well, depends, because the ones that I watched them as a kid, I try to watch them in Spanish, though I know
Course.
that you can actually appreciate the animation better
Mm-hmm.
with English because that's the language it was time to.
Yeah.
So I mean, the ones that I looked before, right? It was like I watched them probably most of them in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like
Makes
from
sense.
from I think it was from 2017 or 2018 forward. I've just watched them in English.
Okay, yeah, similar, same.
Yeah, because of and you can actually appreciate the animation better, like looking at it on the original language. Like
Yeah.
we watched Spirited Away with my husband. When we watch it on with Japanese and subtitles because it's better appreciated
Oh
with
yeah,
the
absolutely.
dialogues. Yeah.
I agree. Even in live action, I always try to stick to whatever
Yeah,
the
same thing.
original language is, and I'll just read the captions. Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
when I spent some
I
time
love
on
subtitles. It's
Yeah,
subtitles are there
subtitles.
for a
Yeah.
reason.
when
Yeah.
uh when I was in Mexico for a while, I think The Simpsons in Spanish sort of ruined everything for me because it was like Homero was so like it was just such a distinct voice, like, and I was just like, oh man, some of these are much better in other languages. So,
Yeah. Like
but for
SpongeBob.
most films, yeah, I like
Though.
like any major film, I have to watch it in their original language.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch dubs. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
So if there's a movie that I have to pay too much attention to, I can't have it on the background. I have to pay attention and save it. All right. Well,
yeah.
Alexa, thank you very much for joining us all the way from Central
Yes.
America today.
Thank you so
for
much for giving
having
us your
me.
time, Ale.
Thank
Of
you for
course.
having me. It was a pleasure to be here. I would definitely let you know when the new stuff is around, so maybe I can join in again because
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I love this. It was really a pleasure,
Oh.
and I mean it's a nice thing to have like this late show type of interviews and stuff. You guys rock.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Ale. We're so
thank you. Hold
excited
on.
that you.
Hold
Yeah,
on. I
thank
gotta
you for
change my
giving us
hat
your
again.
time.
The
Yeah,
other
I know,
hat.
right? Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
get all our
I'm out of hats,
Thank
Ale.
you.
I'm out of hats. No, but thank you very much. We really appreciate you taking the time. We're absolutely invited to come back again. You know, we wish you
Definitely.
nothing but the luck. And as soon as those movies are ready for next year, you let me know, and we'll get you some. We'll get them. We'll get you some waivers so you can submit them at least to the San Diego Latino Film Festival because
Yeah, that would be
we
awesome.
love a chance to screen your work there when it's ready.
By the way, I'm thinking about posting this video on on the website of
Absolutely.
us later, so that we can have it there, so people can rewatch it later. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably post it over there.
No, please. If you want, just message me and I can send you a link to the actual video, or you can take it and rip it from the YouTube channel, whatever you want.
No,
So
I think I can embed it there.
yeah, you can
Don't
embed it.
worry.
That's no. And also remember, I did if for next time you chat, I did send you a link to some of our work together. So if you get bored, watch some of our movies, watch some of Sophia's stuff
Oh
there on the
yeah,
link I sent you.
I'll love watching that stuff. Like
Check it.
to get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
inspiration
let us
as
know.
well. We can get inspiration from each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, yes, and hopefully someday we can meet in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Que voy a
Like I said,
visitar en Honduras.
you need a voice, you need a voiceover actor for anything, you let us know, okay?
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely.
thank
Thank you
you.
everybody that tuned in and watch. Thank you, Karina. Karina says so nice to meet your guest tonight. Make sure you guys follow her at Soy Alexa Jimenez on Twitter, as well as Soy Ale @Jimenez93.
Yeah, I believe we added her on the post on Mi Gente show.
So we added her on the post. Yeah,
IG.
absolutely. So thank you for everybody. Sophia, you have a good evening as well. I'll talk to
You too. Love
talk to
you.
Love
Hasta
you.
luego.
We'll talk shortly.
Yes.
Peace out, mi gente.
Bye.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
Puedes esperar. Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado durante la filmación de esta película.
¡Listo! ¡Uy, palomitas en el suelo! Chao.
Espera, parece que Maggie tiene algo que decir. ¡Es su primera palabra!